How do you do? Just a word of friendly warning. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now is your chance to, well, we've warned you.
Hello, I am.
Oh, okay. Then you said it.
Andy's like, who's hosting?
Ooh, that's how exactly how I said it. Hi, I'm Andy.
Welcome to Night of the Living podcast. I've got a quick note up top.
Gymkata?
If you didn't like The Last Jedi, make sure you saw it in a theater that had recliners, okay? That you were well rested, because I think that makes a lot of difference.
Yeah. Also,
don't be an idiot.
if you're judging it based on how it fits into the Star Wars universe, we can't talk about it.
Don't make Kelley cry.
Oh my! You won't make me cry, except with tears of anger.
Don't watch it
I loved it.
where the theater is like 1/3 full and a dude decides to sit exactly next to you.
Sits in your lap.
How dare you, sir?
Can I
How
pause
dare
here?
you?
First of all, A, why do people do that?
Why do you do that?
And then B, is similarly, like, why, if you park in an empty parking lot, you know, to wait for someone, invariably someone pulls up and into the parking spot right next to you.
And then it's weird.
Yeah. This happens to me all the time when I take Colin to a saxophone lesson, and the high school where he goes.
Every single time, huh?
This does happen every single time. There's this big empty parking lot. I park in it. I start looking at, you know, maybe porn or whatever.
Sure.
And then somebody pulls up next to me. Like,
and then they start jerking off to your porn.
Yeah.
And you're like,
"Hey,
this
stop
is
it."
mine.
You know what happens in the ladies' restroom at work? There's 5 stalls.
Okay.
I picked the one all the way against the wall. It's empty. It's just me and they're peeing.
Yeah.
The person who comes in goes in the stall exactly next to me.
And then they just drop diarrhea for 20 minutes.
And it's like, why do we have to be best friends? You want to hold hands underneath
and
the
they
wall?
talk to you.
Can you spare a square? That's why.
Hey,
Yeah.
Spare a
it's
square.
It's not like it's glass stalls, is it?
I know, but still, like, there should be a fucking buffer.
What is that, listeners? I have to stop myself from yelling at people on Facebook for a little while. I feel like I feel like everyone is starting to hate me, but like
Starting? Sorry.
why? Write us in and tell us why you do that if you're one of those people.
Yeah, just like explain. Is it because you can't be alone for 5 seconds?
Here's what I do. If there's 3 stalls, urinals in the bathroom, I go in the middle one.
Just
You're
to force people to stand
piece of
next to you.
shit.
Yeah.
You have to look at penises.
I've seen them do it. But why don't stall doors go all the way to the floor?
Why do we park in a driveway?
Well, they
and
do
drive on a parkway?
sometimes.
Yeah.
But if they do,
In nicer places, they do.
yeah. So if you're in a nice place where it's a fully enclosed booth for your pooping and peeing,
And you got headphones.
But-
He's like, I need more hi-hat.
but they have to have something on the door that tells you if that stall's taken or not. One of those little green or reds.
Well, but you know that
because
doesn't.
then you're just like going through every door, and everybody in there is just trying to pee.
Well, but you know people still will pull on it.
Yeah, I hate them.
Yeah.
Even
One
if
time a
it's-
kid climbed under the stall door when I was using the bathroom.
Oh, that's happened to me.
Ew, he got his face on the bathroom floor.
Well,
I'd
moms bring their
it's called
58
that.
kids in
Gross.
with them, and I get it,
I'd have
moms.
kicked that kid right in the fucking face.
What do you think I did?
I'm not saying
I
you
hope you kicked him in the
shouldn't.
face.
I pushed on his face like in a Christmas Story. I was like, oh.
I'm not trying to shame moms, but like, please prevent your toddlers from climbing under and staring at me while I'm trying to pee.
You know,
okay?
you know, and it's possible. You know whose kids never did that shit?
Yours.
Mine.
Yeah.
I have
Perfect
no
kids.
sympathy for that. A lot of things where I get like people are like, it's real hard being a parent. I'm like, you're talking to the wrong bitch, because that shit was never a problem for me.
Would you like to know which bitches you're talking to today,
Oh,
everybody?
Yeah, what bitches?
I'm Amy. I'm head bitch in charge
You
today.
boss bitch.
Are you boss
Yeah.
bitch or head bitch?
HBIC.
I'm boss bitch.
All right.
Freddie,
Head bitch is the one
It's
that gives
me.
all the head.
I'm assistant bitch.
your assistant bitch.
Assistant to the bitch.
This is the regional bitch.
Kelly's the regional bitch.
I'm so angry. Like I'm just
He's an
angry
angry bitch.
at everyone on.
Oh,
on
you mad now?
social.
I wish I
social
had
media.
your energy.
I
To be angry.
I gotta stop
I
myself.
think that's the only thing that keeps you going, kind of.
Maybe. Like
Yeah.
I'm just so like I just want to call people out daily.
Yeah.
Where you get mad, I just want to wrap myself in a blanket and lay on the floor.
Here's the thing. It's not even. Listen, listeners. It's not even that I'm mad. I want to understand why you do the goofy things you do. Not you, listeners. Just the world.
Yeah.
Like when people do goofy shit. I want to understand. I'm like the bitch next to me.
Yeah.
Mikey B.
Bottom bitch.
I'm sorry, boss bitch. I hope it was okay.
No, that's what I was gonna say. The bitch next to Kelley,
Oh.
Mikey B.
The side piece bitch.
Because look, you are interested in people's psychology.
I am.
I want to understand people's motivations for doing the god awful nonsense that they do.
They're not thinking.
Hey, Kelley, I just figured out that if you were at the Jedi Academy, Luke would have tried to assassinate you.
Yeah, but
'Cause
not
he would
because
see-
I was dangerous.
Because he would see all this darkness in you.
Yeah.
There'd be problems.
He would have failed you as a master.
He'd be like, this guy.
You've heard of a final girl. Well, I've got your final bitch.
I'm the last one, yo.
It's Andy.
Y'all dead because of me.
Albatross bitch.
We're all Tanner, and we're much sicker.
We're Tanners?
Yep. Tanner. Tanner.
Well, most of us, 4 out of 5 of us are Tanner.
Oh, we're
yeah.
like the dentist.
I'm
Yeah.
paler.
Yeah, Kelly got paler. The rest of us went to the equator
No, but
and got
he-
burned up.
He's a lot redder now because of the anger.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
It's
And the high
flush
blood pressure.
with with feelings.
And blood.
Yeah, so we got back from our Disney cruise. It was perfect.
Oh.
It was.
We need to talk about the brother husbands, though.
Yeah.
Ooh, brother husbands.
Kelley, I want to get your opinion on this.
I'll get it.
Because I struggled with how to feel about this.
You can get it.
Because at first I was like, that's fucked up. That's weird. And I don't like it. But then I was like, am I being judgmental? Because if you're not hurting anybody, live your life any way you want.
All
right?
Well, hit me with it, and then
Okay.
I'll judge you.
So the first day we're there, I see these guys. And they're like probably early 60s. And they're wearing the exact same outfit. And I'm not just talking like jeans and a blue shirt. I'm talking like full on Disney Cruise Line pajama pants and Disney Cruise Line shirts.
You guys don't have that shit?
Yeah. And me and Mike will wear the same outfit sometimes.
Sometimes.
Like every day on this
So-
trip.
so I see
talking
them. No. So the first day I see them in that. And then the next day I see them in the exact same Speedo. And then the next day they're wearing the exact same Speedo and sparkly top hats. And then I see them in exact same vest pant combos. And I'm talking about like things with like Disney characters on them. And every day they're wearing the exact same outfit and they look alike. So it's, at first you're like, are they twins? Are they brothers? No, they're gay husbands.
They're brother husbands.
All right.
They're
We call them
brother husbands.
So,
But for 7 days, they wore the exact same thing, like from bathing suits that were like sequiny.
ooh.
They look like
sequins.
Aquaman. They had Aquaman bathing suits at one point.
That,
So-
that
so-
and
emphasized-
sparkly
well,
Columbia hats.
the Aquaman Speedos
oh.
emphasized their old junk real prominently.
They're old junk.
So
They're
you
sex.
want my
They're sex.
opinion?
Yeah.
All right. I think it's delightful,
Okay.
but I think there's no problem with you amongst yourselves calling them dorks.
No, I don't know. No, I'm worried that they're codependent and it's sad and somebody's not into it, but the other one has to do it.
Oh, you've created a narrative. You
I
should-
did. I put a story on it.
She was reading into it.
Disconnect
too
from that story.
I think
Yeah.
I think that sounds delightful.
Yeah.
I would have
Okay.
liked to have high-fived
Well,
them.
Amy,
Yeah.
I was.
I would have taught. I would have struck up a friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would've
They
been-
tried to with
They
Mike.
tried to.
every
They
every
tried
morning
to with me.
I would have been like, "Hey guys, I like your outfits today," and like,
Well, they brother husbands subtly shaded me because on our dress like a pirate night,
Yeah.
I was Smee. I went as Smee.
oh, that's a cute pirate.
If you don't know
Yeah.
what Smee is, Google it. It's from Peter Pan.
Yes.
I know what Smee is.
No, I'm
you
talking to
mean-
the
oh,
listener.
okay.
Yes.
You're showing tinges of a persecution complex.
But my Smee costume, like Smee has his belly out, so my
Right.
belly was out, and the brother husband came over and said, "You're very brave for wearing that."
Oh shit! Now you just flipped the script. Hate on
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
bitches.
Yeah.
They were a
He
little
was like,
bitchy.
if you could change your feet
Ouija.
because you're brave.
You're brave. But I will say, the other problem I had with the brother husbands was their last night costume.
It was fun though.
The
Nazis
gay elf-
shouldn't wear Nazi costumes.
I have a picture of it.
On the
They were
Disney
wearing
cruise.
red pants and these button-up shirts that had like half-naked, ripped-up elves on them, like
Ooh.
six-pack elves. Like this is a Disney cruise.
I'm okay with you do all of that stuff that you want to do, but on a Disney cruise,
no, it's kinda
gay
fun.
elves.
But
I'll
think
show
of
you it later.
think they gave the whole boat a story.
They did. That's true.
I guess.
I liked these dudes until they picked on you.
I'm not even sure that
I
it was
think they were
necess-
trying to sleep with him personally.
Yeah.
But
But that seems like a real dumb way to go about it.
You're like, you know what else is brave? Bareback Amy.
Yeah, well, he wanted to show me his pictures of his costuming collection because normally his A game is much higher. That's what the one guy, the Dom brother husband, was trying to explain to me. Because normally they would have gone as Captain Hook and Smee, but like us, perfect. But they didn't want to bring their 73 trunks on this cruise like they have done.
I'm not sure if you can see that, Kelley.
Oh, so they do sound a little tiresome.
A little tiresome, but as they're scrolling through their pictures, they made sure I saw things I didn't want to see.
Oh, really?
But that, but that was some first class shade, though. I like that.
Yeah, Andy appreciated it.
And Amy, I want to be on board with this shade, but like I'm like a stone's throw away from them.
You are.
So I can't really judge on them.
You're right, because I put a story on it, and it was all me about their codependency and their problems in their relationship.
That
but
one
if they're happy,
is being abused in Amy's mind.
Do your thing, baby doll.
Was it the smaller one, you think?
They were both the
He was
same.
like, Marvin, it'd be a shame if you ran into another doorknob.
Amy, you know what I want for you for 2018?
Yeah.
I want you to be able to let go.
Let it go.
Let it go, girl.
Because I'm trying to be a better person and more open, but you want me to close it down and just let it be.
I want you to just be happy and
All right.
not worry.
I think I don't know that those two things are equitable.
Yeah.
Is that the right word?
I can be a shady little bitch in this safe space.
You can be open and let it be all at the same time. I think
I
part of
just
being
mean-
open and letting it be, they coexist real well.
right.
They intermingle, if you will.
Agreed. But
Right.
yeah.
When I find myself in times of trouble, brother husband comes to me and says, "That's very brave."
I don't want you to have your good time ruined by worrying about people that you don't.
that I don't know. Well, I did a lot of that on the ship, and I'm like, oh my god, they work every day.
There was the family next to us who I thought were Russians because they never smiled when we were at dinner.
We call them the Grumpy Russians or the Greshams.
And then we realized that they weren't. And one of them looked like. Do you watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yeah.
You know Rosa.
Uh-huh.
One of them kind of looked like Rosa.
Yeah.
Just like the.
I know
I'm
exactly
talking
what you
about.
mean, yeah.
The expression.
Yeah.
Resting bitch face.
And then they started laughing near the end of the trip. But it was like day 6 before they cracked.
Was it because they were watching like videos of car crashes?
Yeah, they were like.
They were on Watch People
And they
Die.
weren't even Russian.
No.
They just looked. They looked very.
I mean, they
Eastern
could have
European.
Russian in
They were
there.
from
Yeah.
Pontiac, Michigan.
Yeah, or maybe they were like the Americans. They were spies.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do we sound like awful people just
Yes.
talking about everybody?
No.
What else do you do on a cruise for
They
7
all
days?
brought us joy, though.
Yeah.
And there was a
it
lot of
brings you
fun
joy.
people watching. There was the really rich lady that looked like a leather catching mitt, who was talking
Lisa
about
Vanderpump.
Lisa
We,
Vanderpump.
yeah,
she
she
was on
was
the
always
ship.
wearing like a sheer cover up in the bikini, and then we were all laying out. She's like, I think we should sell the vet. And then one of the other people with her was like, I'm just sick of Audis.
He's talking about the belly buttons, though.
Yeah, they were like, I'm tired of seeing Audis. But one was like, I just don't enjoy driving Audis anymore.
Oh.
And then I saw her tramping around below decks with a little person on a scooter.
That's awesome.
And
Part
it
of my
was such a
family.
great combination of looks because he was like this young.
Did you mean traipsing about or tramping? Because she's a tramp.
She's tramping. He's traipsing.
Hey, girl, if you're listening, you be a tramp.
But together they're gallivanting.
Together they're gallivanting, and it was like the circus came to town. The
Yeah.
way that I'm not saying
It sounds like the Lannisters.
I'm not. Yeah, it was like the Lannisters. It was like the real life Lannisters.
Yeah.
And
Rich angry lady and a little person.
But he was cheery and
He's cheery.
he was real tan and pretty fit.
You call him
and he was on
Tyrion.
he was
Tyrion Lannister.
Tyrion. And he was on a scooter and he was tearing ass all over the boat
was.
on like a razor scooter. And she was just like keeping up with him, and she was saying like, "Why is it below decks? Feels like it takes forever to walk the length of the ship, but above decks it feels immediate."
Well, isn't there more space down below?
It's the same distance.
Is it?
I'm like, it's because it's boring down here.
Down below.
Other than you two.
Other than you two.
you too was
know,
there?
though,
Oh my
at the-
God.
You
In
two is
subtle-
below decks.
In some reflection from the ship cruise, the something that's awesome about those stories is that you get to develop them over the course of 7 days. So, like when
Yeah.
you meet the brother husbands, unlike if you've never been on a cruise before, unlike a typical vacation, you meet a family during family breakdown hour and they stick in your mind.
Yeah.
These people's stories got to develop over
Yeah.
7 days,
And I got to put more and more of my own problems on it.
Because they recur. It's kind of like when Kramer enters Jerry's apartment and the audience applauds.
Right.
Because they're waiting for the next great thing to happen from
Yeah.
him. We get that experience over and over again because we're on the ship and everyone gets an entry. Everyone gets their entrance into
I wanna
the
know what
scene
story they
over
put
and
on
over
us.
again.
It's like on It's
Yeah.
Always Sunny when
Yeah.
they put the cameras in Charlie and Mac's mom's house.
Yeah, exactly.
They made a sitcom
So
out
you
of it.
think they talk about us the way we talk about them?
Sure.
They're like those four
Yeah.
had more fun than anybody has a right to.
How many?
Yeah, we
Because
did.
we have a list of people that we've met at Disney. It's a really long list.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine how many lists that we were on.
Yeah.
We're on a lot of
That
you're,
you
on the
were
list.
on.
You're the speedo guy to some kids that remember they were laughing at you.
Oh, I stuck my ass in a girl's face.
So Andy started like really like bending over. We were in line for the Aqueduct, which is a roller coaster on the ship that goes out over the ocean. It's
Ooh.
awesome. It's awesome.
A
Is it
water
dangerous?
slide.
It's a water slide roller coaster.
Yeah.
Water coaster.
And it doesn't feel dangerous. It just feels wonderful.
So Andy,
as soon as I
So-
said it, I knew that it was a stupid question.
there were children behind me that kept like pushing on me and like on my
Pushing
butt
on
and
you.
stuff, and I'm like, bitch,
Pushing on you.
it's not gonna go faster, you dumb kid.
I'll tell you what
So
though.
Andy switched spots with me and got them back.
Yeah, Andy started like bending over in his speedo.
Twerking.
Like,
I'm on the FBI list now.
there was when your question about whether the Aqueduct is dangerous or not. There was a day when they had high winds, and it says we were requiring at least 2 riders in each float due to high winds.
Because if you were by yourself and little, you just fly right
You're
off.
blown off
But you're on a raft. It's
out into
okay.
the ocean. That's right. You have your flotation device with you. That'll protect you.
Because
from
there's
the
nothing
sharks.
bad in the ocean.
Yeah.
No.
And think about it. If you get hurt on a Disney cruise and you survive,
Uh huh.
lifetime passes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, there was a scandal like 5 years ago where a lot of Disney
Scandal.
cast members or crew members were openly using tons of cocaine on the Wonder. And there's all these pictures I found of them cutting up cocaine with their Disney employee pass that has like Donald Duck on it.
Are they in some kind of weird like dungeon now, like
Yeah.
where they keep them underground?
I don't know.
I can't imagine those people are allowed.
They're
to
actually
live.
encased in
Carbonite?
plastic
Yeah.
in their animatronics in Pirates of the Caribbean, and
Oh,
they're
it's like
actually the guys trying to get the dog with the key.
It's like the House of Wax. Those are
Yeah.
actually real people under there.
They're in Spaceship Earth.
This felt like a once in a lifetime kind of trip.
Yeah.
Which hopefully
Considering the cost.
and hopefully we can do it again sometime before we die.
Dear listeners, do you know about caipirinhas?
We know about
Oh.
caipirinhas. That's what we're getting those on Colin's birthday.
They're the best.
Oh yeah.
Because they have them at Colin wants to go to Meat Place. Buena
Buena
Brasa.
Brasa.
Buena Brasa.
And they make fucking great
Yay.
caipirinhas, which
Yeah.
I got on my birthday last year.
Yeah, they are really good, aren't they?
We're gonna have to go and feel like we're back on the ship
I'm just gonna
because
start
I had
making them.
We
I had
make them at
hundreds of-
home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
had
muddler.
hundreds of dollars worth of caipirinhas on that ship.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say
People.
that.
That's a great
Yeah.
drink.
You only had like 1 or 2 a day.
For 7 days times
$7.
10 something.
Were they 10 something?
Yeah.
I thought they
The
were 7.
caipirinhas were 10 but something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, kill
With
me.
the tip.
I didn't look.
Don't look.
Yeah.
Don't.
I never looked.
It was
So,
once in a once
it
in
was.
a
It was
once in a 5 year.
You can't
Hopefully
cheap
we
out,
can do
you
it again in
can't
5
cheap out
years.
on your once in a lifetime
Yeah.
Disney trip.
This
on
was
a cruise.
for a vacation that took like 2 years of planning and saving and everything. Totally worth it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
The other thing was our service on the ship was so good. They have your servers follow you from night to night for your dining. And Clef and Gilbert.
Yep.
If for some reason you ever hear this, you guys are amazing. But
Kelley, what is psychedelic trance music? Because Gilbert really likes
why don't you
it,
play
but
some,
I don't know
Andy?
what it is.
Go to Apple Music and look up
Well,
psychedelic
I imagine
trance.
that
Just do it
it's-
on there on the computer.
It's
we can all hear it.
What
it's
do you
like
think it is?
it's probably like it's probably got like a 60s acid rock sound put to like beats.
He says he
Like
likes to
dance
blow off
beats?
steam by going to his cabin and having a beer. He's like, I don't need other people. He's from Zimbabwe, and and the other server was from India.
Psychedelic trance.
And Clef, the one from India, was super innocent and sweet seeming, and Gilbert seemed like maybe he had some adventures behind him.
and they had to get onto the.
He
ship.
looked like Mace Windu, and that's not a racial thing. He actually did look like Mace
Yeah,
Windu.
actually, he did. I never thought about it, but you're right. I wonder if on Star Wars night
Yeah.
he would
Did he
dress
use
us
the
up.
force to bring you your drinks?
Yep. All my
he was pretty
caipirinhas.
awesome. And then there was a bartender named Ronnie that got Andy to drink. And Andy turned red, and he was really loving that. He thought it was hilarious.
I
We
was
got
in
a
my
great-
Speedo and beat red.
The
He was.
bartender thought it was hilarious?
Yeah,
I tried to.
You're
we
like,
got a picture of him. Of him and Andy, and it's really funny.
Do you know that people from Honduras don't know what moonshine is?
Yeah,
I,
You had
didn't, I
never
was
heard of
trying to
moonshine.
explain it to him, and I
I'm
did
not
not do
sure
a
why
good
they
job.
would.
Exactly.
They're from Honduras.
But he's a bartender on an international cruise line.
Oh, he didn't know what
He didn't
moonshine
know.
was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you just meant people from Honduras. I thought
Right,
there was like
yeah.
a family from Honduras there. And
Yeah, but somebody who works professionally serving alcohol
Certainly he
to
should know
people
what
from all
moonshine
around the
is.
world, you'd think they would know what moonshine is.
yeah, I would agree with you on that.
But it didn't matter because he made a really good caipirinha.
Amy and I found out that we didn't like what's it called? What's that drink?
Cognac.
Oh,
Cognac.
yeah, they did a cognac tasting.
But we did find out that there was a 300-year-old bottle of cognac that the employees of the Disney cruise ship accidentally spilled.
They spilled and they broke the bottle and spilled it.
And spilled it.
Before anyone got to taste it even.
Do you like cognac, Kelly?
I don't know if I've ever had cognac.
It tastes like gasoline, like straight up
I didn't know what it
gasoline.
was until someone said Hennessy, and then I was like, oh, okay, I get it.
it's Hennessy?
Yeah.
It's Hennessy.
Oh, I got-
Cavassier,
yeah.
Hennessy.
Cavassier.
Hennessy's okay.
Remy
I don't
Martin.
really like it.
Oh, I like Remy Martin.
One
Yeah.
of my musical Tourette's is always to say pass the Cavassier,
Yeah.
and I'm letting that one go now.
Yeah.
I'm
It tastes like
erasing.
gasoline, but it'll get you there.
It got us there.
No, I
get you there.
real
So I
good.
guess I do like cognac.
It's made out of grapes.
Yeah.
We got to have that while the boys were having a fancy dinner, and then they came back and brought us presents,
Yeah.
which was nice.
Yeah. Andy was like, Andy and I went to a really fancy dinner at this restaurant on board called Remy. And it's like,
Oh, like from the Rat movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
And this restaurant is like everything you remember from 80s movies about fancy French restaurants where they bring out all the courses and the carte
Do they have
cheese
like
and
a real
everything.
snooty maitre d'?
They were all, yeah.
They're all French,
but they
man.
were friendly. And I mean, it wasn't
It wasn't like-
Disney snooty.
Yeah, it wasn't Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
There was a
French
guy
guy.
next to us who was drinking $70 a glass wines, like mini courses.
Like,
of
fuck
it.
you, dude.
I can't get
Like,
down.
we
with
were
that.
around like really rich people. Me and Andy are like we're like the Beverly Hillbillies. And
Look, I mean, if you're rich, I get it. What else are you gonna spend your
if her
money
daddy's
on? But-
poor, yeah,
But like, I don't have the.
yeah,
I just want to get kind of buzzy.
I get it. Well, here's the thing: it was a bargain for what we did because it was like $100.
Yeah.
But they have all these add-ons that the Richie Rich people would add on, like a truffle service, which is like an extra $350.
Right.
Where
I
they
got
come
you.
out and shave truffles onto your food and that sort of thing. And the people on either side of us were like doctors, and this guy was talking about working with the Big Brothers and Big Sisters program,
But he
which
just-
sounds nice.
He was talking about it like it was like a chore.
A pain in the ass.
And then he was like, "They tell you
He's
you
like,
can't."
I hate being a big brother.
Well, no, he was like, "They tell you not to spend money on these kids, but what kind of kid wants to go to the park?"
Yes.
You fucking live in the urban jungle, you do.
Yeah, and then he was like drinking
love
this
the
really
park.
expensive wine. And then when we got done, Andy was like, they give roses and candy to the wives. And he's like, we should ask them about that because it's just the two of us. And then Andy's like, can we get roses for our wives?
Did they do it?
Yeah, we got roses for our wives. And then
I made up my wife to get free roses.
And you just left the roses.
No, I'm ruthless. I was trying to make my money back on this cruise.
he was every meal, like Andy's like, how much do I have to eat to break even or make them lose money on me on this trip? Because it's obscene, like what you have access to on these cruises, like what you can eat. Cocaine.
Bitches.
Just like, I mean, like crazy, like we had caviar.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It
I did
was.
not.
That was the only second time I've ever had it, and it was
Yeah.
good.
Kelly,
That meal was amazing.
The way you said it, you're so. Did you like it?
I
Did you like
wouldn't
it?
eat it by itself.
I've never had.
I will
caviar.
never
Do you
eat
like
it.
you like sushi,
You
right?
sound so
I like
crestfallen.
sushi, but I've had it described to me as being very fishy.
Well, if you know the little black pellets in a lot of sushi, like you'll get a roll and it has, they call it a roe.
Bro, yeah.
That's
Yep,
caviar.
But I don't
Same
think I've
thing.
ever had a roll with that on it.
You probably have. Didn't even know it.
I don't know.
You're so roe and you don't even know it. But like,
So roe.
we had that, and I mean, it's not something I would eat all the time.
I was not even going to try.
It was pretty good though.
It was good.
I'd try it, but
Because y'all,
Mike had some
because
escargot.
y'all are
I
trash.
did.
how was
I am
that?
trash.
It was good.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything all the food was great.
Food that you normally would think is going to be disgusting is pretty good.
Except for
Yeah.
like that one is one of the cool little features of having the servers at the restaurant know, like they would tell us you're not going to like that dish.
Yeah, literally.
And so they'll bring up a backup dish. This
Yeah.
is how like
They figured out what your tastes
extravagant.
were. Yeah.
this
Oh, they're
cruise-
like Facebook algorithms.
Yeah. And so he brought out
Living,
I got
breathing.
2 entrees one night because I picked something he knew I wouldn't like, and guess what? I didn't like one of them.
Well, and Andy was gung ho about going into this. He's like, I'm just going to order everything because you can. It doesn't cost you anymore. You already paid for everything. Like, you can have everything. And the first night, I think you did that.
And then you realized.
Yeah, then I slowly, I got on the scale at the gym, and I'm like, ooh.
I gained 10 pounds. I've lost at least 5 of it since we've come home.
Oh, nice.
Just from eating regularly?
I don't know.
Just from eating regularly and being sick.
Okay.
I'm sure it had something to do with it.
I didn't weigh myself.
I didn't either. There's definitely was a belly check. I'm like, oh, shit.
7 days of just
My Speedo progressively got tighter and tighter.
Yeah, he looked like a sausage. He was just about to pop.
He just
looked
wore
like
that
2
damn thing
sausage
everywhere.
links.
I didn't think I was going to be the only one.
You were?
There was 3 of you on the ship of 5,000 people.
Me and the husband brothers.
Yeah, you and the husband brothers.
Well, the husband brothers technically were in trunks, not
Wouldn't
Speedos,
it be
so
funny
you're really the only one.
Wouldn't it be funny if their last name was husband and they were brothers?
Oh my god! And they're filmmakers. They make gay porno together.
John and Darren.
John and
That's
Darren
what I feel
brother.
like their
John and
names
Darren
are.
brother.
Yeah.
We're the brother
Husband.
brothers.
Well,
We're the husband brothers.
It got all messed up.
We're Joyce
Darren
brothers.
husband.
Joyce brothers' husband.
Dr. Joyce Brothers.
How
Does
is
anybody
everybody's-
remember that lady?
Yeah.
No, I know in this room you do.
Oh, yeah, old people.
Did everybody have a good Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
Kelley got the greatest sweater ever for
It
Oh,
is
yeah,
really
awesome.
great.
Yeah.
In fact, this is a gift from Elise. It's got Bigfoot on. Mikey and I are sweater buddies today.
Yeah, you're both wearing like Mr. Rogers button
Your brother husbands.
We're
Yeah,
brother
we're
husbands.
Yeah.
I didn't wear a shirt under mine.
That is the difference.
And he's-
I'm stinky.
And Kelly's wearing his pajama pants and his slippers,
Mm-hmm.
so he looks like he escaped from a group home.
I'm wearing pajama pants, but I make this shit look good.
Ever since my foot's been fucked up, I really only wear pajama pants now.
Yeah.
I mean, I seriously really only wear pajama pants everywhere I go.
Live your life.
Yeah.
As I'm dressed like you right now a little bit, I'm kind of realizing I'm a whore brother husband. Because sometimes I'm dressed like Freddy, and sometimes I'm dressed like Kelley. A lot of times Andy and I are dressed alike.
Yeah.
You guys get around.
I get around.
So,
Such a slut.
Yeah.
Kelly, there was a private island called Castaway Key.
Is that where the strippers are?
Yes.
There's a place in France where the naked ladies.
Is it really?
No.
No, it's
Oh.
a Disney island.
Okay.
They own it.
Kelly, in your mind, did you really think there were strippers on this?
Not all right. Let me backtrack. That was an exaggeration, but I thought maybe this was like an adult area.
They do have an adult
Yeah,
area.
we were in the adult area.
But there wasn't anything like adult, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I meant.
Goofy was walking around with his big ding dong hanging out. Garsh.
I thought that's where. I mean, did I really
you just
think?
can't have kids there.
Oh.
That's it. There's a
Which
bar.
was great. Disney
that's
does a
great.
great job. I had heard that before, but they do a really darn
I
good
barely
job.
saw
at
kids.
The only time we really had kid experiences was when we were doing that water coaster. And I had to give the mean girl that was trying to get her nose real close to Andy's butthole a look.
Didn't work though.
It
That
didn't.
happens in Disney World too. Like, what do these kids think is going to happen if they continually push their face into my ass? Like, I'm not going to go faster. The slime cannot go faster.
They
gotta
put
do
their
is
face
fart.
in your ass.
Take care of
Because
it.
they're just pushing and they're short.
They're
And where my
excited.
ass
Yeah.
is,
Amy,
is where
some
their
peop-
face is.
Some people go to Disney World just for that reason.
Well, I will
What?
say
Face
this:
buried in there.
little
Nose to
kids,
butts.
Yeah.
kids really do have like no fucking boundaries, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you're in places and you have to be like, "Kid, back the fuck up off." me."
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not talking about. I've never been obviously to Disney World, but I
Right.
definitely have like
Yeah.
kids will be like fucking.
Mike is
jostling you,
good
like,
for that.
sitting on you in the fucking movie theater and shit.
Mikey has a good back the fuck up kid face.
Yeah.
You're like, no.
The little girl apologized to me, but not really to Andy, and then she kind of forgot 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
in my defense and her defense, Andy was presenting pretty well at that point.
Yeah.
Once I told
He was in
Andy,
heat.
he was yeah.
Once I found out that they were shading me, I amped it up.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He put that on center stage.
And by
His
that, his
a-hole.
ass.
Yeah.
Good for you. That's what you should do.
He did it.
That private island was so beautiful. We hung out with
Your own private Idaho?
stingrays, my own private Idaho. And prior to that, in Cozumel, Mike and I went and swam with dolphins.
Oh my gosh.
Did
Which
you
was
actually swim
amazing.
with a dolphin?
Yeah.
Did
And
you
I
get to
held-
touch a dolphin?
Yeah,
Did
rubbed
you get
its
to
belly.
snuggle with a dolphin?
I snuggled with it. It kissed us, and I held onto its fins, and it swam me around the lagoon.
That's like a dream come true.
It was like a
Wow.
dream
It's like
come
you went
true.
to heaven.
It was. And it was
Are you
full of
dead?
dolphins. And the whole time I had hurt my knee, and you would think it was doing one of these adventurous things, but it was just getting out of a hot tub. It like cracked and it hasn't been right since.
I understand.
But
It
I
was our
powered through
pampering
and
that hurt
everything.
us, yeah.
Yeah, all the pampering.
Sitting up in
Injury.
bed every day is very painful for me. I get you.
Yeah, that'll happen.
I still have my side bruise from Achilles.
Oh,
is,
yeah,
which is
we
kind of
bumped
like
into you?
Just my side bruise.
Achilles was one of the dolphins. It was Achilles and Hermes.
That was our
Tried
main.
to kill you, I think.
Yeah, it was our main dolphin. Well, we had a mutual respect.
You, my main
Right.
dolphin.
Yeah, it was my main
Give me
dolphin.
some flipper.
Yep. We kissed and stuff.
You got a main dolphin and a side dolphin?
Yeah.
I dressed like the dolphin too.
Amy and Andy they went horseback riding.
Could
Andy
you swim
and
with
I-
sharks? Were there any sharks?
I didn't see any, but I think they're just really good at controlling what gets into, at least on Castaway Key, controlling what gets into
I
the
meant
area.
like you're supposed to swim with them. I don't mean like
I
accidentally.
mean, you could have
swim
gone
with sharks.
snorkeling and
You
probably saw
could
some.
swim with sharks in Disney World at one of the water
So this
parks.
is just an actual island.
Well, there's two. Cozumel was the dolphin thing. We went to a place called Dolphinaris, which I
Cozumel is an island off of Mexico.
Yeah.
Okay.
and that was one of our excursions. Then the last day
Castaway
we went
Key,
to Castaway Key, which is a private island where we did the stingray
that
thing.
Disney owns in the Bahamas.
Yeah, and it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's all themed out. Like it was Christmassy, and they had they used to have the Black Pearl from Pirates of the Caribbean in the water out there, and I guess a storm did something to it. We didn't see it at any point. So I
Davy
think
Jones took it back.
must have.
Yeah.
Um,
Andy and I went
phenomenal.
snooping,
Snooping.
which was amazing.
Is that like a cross
Intense.
between snorkeling and scuba diving?
It exactly is that.
Yeah.
And we got in trouble.
We saw we got yelled at by an Australian.
Was
A
like,
beautiful
"Hey,
Australian, I might add.
You
Yeah.
can't do that with your didgeridoo.
There's dingoes out there.
Snooping is
you
where
remember my list of kangadoos and kangadon'ts?
we were all supposed to do it, but then we found out that you can't do it with asthma, so that took out some of us. So it ended up just
Yeah.
being Andy and I that went. And they have it's a little raft where they put your oxygen tanks on, and then you put on the snuba gear, but you're attached to the raft. So Andy and I, as we're waiting and learning about our gear, we kept going further and further out into the ocean.
You're just floating away?
We were floating away.
Aw.
And when we were trying to use our fins, had you ever used fins before?
No.
No, I'd never used fins before either. So the secret to fins is you got to keep your head underwater. But when you panic, you want to put your head out of water, which just, I guess, in turn makes you go up. So we were exerting a lot of energy to go straight up. And we got in trouble from the Aussies.
He had to come get us.
He did. We had to be rescued, which was, yeah.
It was embarrassing because, like, in our group, there's like teenagers and they're like doing exactly what he says.
Yeah.
And we had to come to get these adults.
And
on
you
the raft.
grown ass play babies.
In our defense, though, they all had 4 to their boat, and we only had 2 to our boat, so we had to do twice the work.
Fucking play babies.
Did you see a lot of cool fish?
We saw a sea turtle.
We saw a giant sea turtle and it was awesome.
A loggerhead
And
sea
the
turtle?
shipwreck.
and a shipwreck.
Yeah.
We got to go swim around a shipwreck, and there was a giant sea turtle, and we learned all of the Aussie signs for sea
the
turtle.
fuck over here.
Yeah,
Oh.
they would do that. They'd make things. We got to see crabs.
Listeners, Mike looks ridiculous making these little things you can't see right now.
Well, they look like they make alien face at you, and you're kind of panicking because you don't have a lot of oxygen anyway. So when they're like these beautiful people are making these faces at you, you have to figure out real quickly what they mean. But it meant there's a crab right down there.
No sharks, though.
We got crabs.
No sharks. We saw what they call it
Milk sharks.
a milk shark. So yeah, I guess we did see sharks.
What's a milk shark?
And we battled and punched them in the face.
It's a shark.
You battled?
We battled.
It's that thing that Luke sucked milk out of in Last Jedi.
God, can I tell you, I heard somebody complain about that.
I love that scene.
Yeah, me too.
Why would you complain about that?
Because it was gross.
What the hell is wrong with everybody?
There's a lot of gross stuff in
That's
Star
a whole
Wars.
other podcast.
You guys got to
Kelly.
start talking about Disney again. I'm starting to get
Yeah.
angry just from
All
saying
right.
that.
Well, let's move on.
Oh, wait.
Yes.
Oh, no, we talked. I was going to mention our sweaters, but we talked about it. All right.
There was one other thing.
Housekeeping. Okay.
Because this is too much fun. Was
Oh
it?
my God,
was it?
Freddie.
Grant came in where we went to the rum cake place,
Yes.
and the
Oh,
guy
Yeah.
There's a drunk guy.
There was
started
this-
a fight.
was this really old drunk guy. He was just taking stuff off the shelves and opening it and
He
drinking
told me
it.
to get out of my way when I was standing
Yeah.
in the aisle,
And then he was up there talking to the cashier lady and
throwing money at
throwing
her.
money at her and cussing at her. And then this
It was Captain Jack Sparrow.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, except like 1,000 years old and really,
Not
really
nice.
like falling apart drunk. And not
Sounds like
nice.
Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was what you just described.
Basically,
All of you.
only much worse. And Then there was this lady who was like, you shouldn't talk to a woman like that. What did she say exactly?
She said, don't talk to a woman like that. You need to apologize. And then he like incoherently yelled at her.
And then she said,
oh, yeah.
you step out that door and karma gonna get you. You're gonna drop dead.
Yeah.
And then he followed her out. And then I was like, well,
he was
shit.
like, what did you say? What did you say?
So I followed
she
him
put
out.
a hex on him in front of us, man.
Amy went BA.
I was like, I guess I gotta help.
In a unfamiliar place, Amy went out the door and she was ready to go.
Did anybody say
she took off her
Well,
rings.
I was talking to the cashier. He was yelling. I said, is this okay? Is this like, she goes, he does it all the time. And I was like, oh, okay. I said, so you guys, this is something you're used to. She's like, yeah, it's no big deal.
Oh,
She was irritated with him, but apparently he comes in there, takes what he wants, throws cash at them for it, drinks it in the store and on the street.
Oh.
And it's just, he's like their Otis, only he's real belligerent.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
But that one lady was not having it.
No.
Which was awesome.
It was awesome.
Karma gonna get you.
Yeah, she could handle herself.
She was like,
She-
you better pray there's no karma.
I know,
Karma
but
gonna get
I
you.
was like,
Karma
I
gonna
gotta
get
help
you.
my fellow sister. You know what I mean?
Karma's
Yeah.
a crocodile that
Yeah.
wanders the island
Yeah.
and devours unsuspecting
When
drunks.
I'm human,
It's just-
and I'm gonna be.
The crocodile just waits for the drunks to pass out on the beach and then eats them.
Yeah.
We did see a girl sing to her father a dedicated song called Karma Chameleon.
That's right. We did karaoke at a club called The Tube, which was supposed to be like the London subway underground. It was pretty neat. And every night they would have game shows and karaoke and stuff in this club. And karaoke night, there was a girl who was like, this song's dedicated to my dad because he hates it. She sang Karma Chameleon. And then there was this kid, this like kind of chubby white kid with like a smarmy face.
Mm-hmm.
He got up and did Baby Got Back, and his parents were filming it and
course.
laughing and like
clapping.
that's my boy. It was real obnoxious. And then there was a lady who did Toxic by Britney Spears and was doing full dance number with it. Yeah.
She
That's a
death
great
dropped.
song.
She did a death drop.
Yeah,
For
was
it,
she good?
I mean, it was entertaining, but
she,
it was.
She thought she was good.
Yeah.
And then her
was something.
friend she was with got up and sang, was it Just Breathe
by the Faith Hill song.
But she was singing like through her nose, like, and then
I know what you mean.
And then she went for like this glory note.
I know exactly what you mean.
Really over like, whoa, this is karaoke, lady.
The way that people who
Hold
think
up.
they can really sing always sing.
Yeah.
She actually gave.
Yeah.
She gave us a look when she was done. Like, you're welcome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then there was a girl who sang "You're Welcome" from Moana.
And she truly was like, you're welcome.
And she was.
Yeah.
And then Freddie sang a song and put them
Yeah.
all to shame.
What'd you sing?
I was sick. I did cover of the Rolling Stone, but I kept waiting for the hacking.
You
to
did
start.
like a Rolling Stone?
Cover of the Rolling Stone.
Oh, right.
By
right,
Dr.
right.
Hook.
Yeah, I got you.
And I was just
You love
waiting
that song.
I do love that song.
I know.
I love it. It's one of my favorite songs. I love Shel Silverstein.
I know.
a bunch too. So,
I know,
And
big
we were-
guy. I know.
we were coughing, like all of us had a cough,
No, not Mike.
except for Mike.
Just me and you, really. Andy had
Andy
a baby
had it.
cough.
Don't try to put your illness on me.
But at one point we would just have to sit up in bed because we were coughing all night.
Freddie, I made him sit up. It was all night.
Oh.
So I was like, we sit up and we were leaning, it was just sitting up. Like,
We slept sitting up for like
and
2
I was
nights.
like, baby, get up. And I sat up with him and I held his hand.
Which
We fell asleep like that.
it was real sweet, but also real creepy when you got up because Andy and I were we had little hide to bed things that
Bunk
we
beds,
were.
yeah.
So when you would get up, you would see these. You saw Freddie and Amy sitting straight up in bed.
It looked like they died of carbon monoxide
it
poisoning.
looked like those
They're holding
pictures, like when the oldie times,
like the daguerreotypes
Yeah.
of dead people.
But we died.
Yeah.
like from the others, like they died and they posed them like they were alive still.
But it was the only way he would stop coughing.
It was awful.
And Freddie made the most pathetic sounds, like
I know. It's so dramatic. All right.
I thought I was gonna die.
I had hush puppies last night.
I know. And Elise made them, right?
Yeah, they were delicious.
I just
go,
love that
girl.
Non sequitur. I had hush puppies last night.
Well, I wanted to make sure I got it out before we moved
You're
on.
like, have you seen my baseball?
All right. So real life stuff.
Yeah. Hope we haven't bored you too much with our.
We
Disney,
did,
yeah.
and that's okay. Patreon.com/NOTLP.
Yeah.
Patron.
Patron.com.
You can hear Night of the Comic with Jason and Scarecrow Oven and me doing The Last Jedi. which we were all in different places on it, which was made for an interesting
I
conversation.
mean, you talked about it. You didn't like read the script like a live read.
We did a live read.
Yeah, table read.
I was the milk shark.
So that's out there. Go check it out, and if you want to throw some money at us, that would be cool too. If you
Much
think we're worth
appreciated.
it.
Patreon fixed that goofy thing they did.
Yeah, they're not going to make the change to the charges. So, that's
we'll
nice.
be paying those instead of the patrons, which is good, which is what we wanted.
Yeah, it was cool. Some of the people wrote in to Patreon and complained about it, and
it worked.
Yeah, so people resist.
Good. Yeah.
And Patreon's a good company that they will listen.
Yeah.
They're not like they don't power through on decisions. They do listen to the creators and the patrons.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever
awesome.
anything, any ideas you have, send to
Good
them.
news. Horror Hunt Weekend's coming up in a couple of months. 3 months.
Hard to believe.
They just announced the kid from Stranger Things, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, Gatton Matarazzo.
The cutie, the little cutie.
And Mad Max from season 2.
The girl.
I'm pretty sure
Mad
she'll be. I think
Max.
they said she's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So horrorhoundweekend.com. Get your texts. Any other housekeeping? We'll be doing our year-end, rear-end next week.
Yeah, we gotta
right.
get that together.
So if you have anything to say about the year,
Next week is my birthday.
oh my lord,
That's right. We'll have to have some Kelly's
crazy.
birthdays.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Podcaster's Choice will start
Yeah.
Yeah.
The year is gonna begin with a bang.
with a booty.
With a booty bang.
Kelly looks miserable right
I know.
now.
I'm sorry, boo boo.
Oh, it's all right.
We'll move on then. Anything else before we go?
Pray for us. We're all sick. Different levels
Well,
of
Mike
sick,
and
except
Andy
for
are
Mike.
sick, and I feel better.
Andy, you got rid of it completely?
I'm going to leave you with a question.
Yeah.
Why are Instagram booty models so aggressive and angry? You don't have to answer it,
Okay.
but just think about it.
All
I
right.
kind of want to know, what
We'll
brought
be-
this up.
I'll explain it later.
I'm glad that you're asking other people why they're angry.
I want to know.
It's nice.
I really want to know.
He wants to know.
You're saying
All right.
if you're listening and you're an Instagram booty model,
Yeah.
Please write in. Crew at NOTLP.com.
Or if you know one.
Well, Kelly, of all people, you should know about angry.
maybe it's because of saturation of the
Yeah.
market.
Well, here's the thing. I'll explain. Listen,
Because of
I feel like
fear.
Why-
Oh my gosh.
Give me an
Are we
example.
ever
Give me an example of why they're angry. What are they saying?
Well, like the one is like the one that I was like, wow, you really like. She's constantly posting like, if people don't start if followers don't start liking my posts and paying for my premium Snapchat, I'm gonna have to start deleting followers.
I'm gonna close this booty down. Shuttered for the closed due to a bad economy.
It's like, wow, calm yourself. Anyway,
All right. Think about it,
You
listeners.
can't close this booty on 4th of July weekend.
Well,
Back out of that one.
well, Donald Trump promised to bring booty back, and it's a dying industry.
All right. We'll be
Grabs it
right
all up.
back.
Hello, boys and girls. It's time for Straight-to-Video Russian Roulette.
Welcome back, everybody. I believe the last show, did I dream this? Where we were like, Kelly can't find the movie, so Andy watched a thing, and then I picked a new movie, and I forgot about it.
Then it got taken off of Netflix.
Well, no,
or
that was
something?
the first movie. It
Yeah.
got taken off of Prime, and then we were like, okay, Kelly's going to watch Raw, and then I forgot about it when you asked me.
plus I was sick.
Oh, that's right, because
Yeah.
we talked about Eddie Murphy's Raw. Because there was
So-
some confusion as to which Raw he was going to watch.
Kelly just picked something else, and then we'll do Raw for the next one. So anyway, Kelly, what did you watch?
So I watched Jerusalem.
Zalam.
Z for Z.
Ziverza.
Which is on Netflix. And it was
Okay, why'd you pick it?
the synopsis actually sounded kind of interesting. The synopsis is I don't even remember exactly what they said, but it's like 3 Americans are in Jerusalem when a biblical apocalypse starts to happen.
You mean the capital of Israel?
Yes.
Fucking Donald Trump. What is your problem? Why
That's
are you
exactly what I
like
mean.
this? Anyway, I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Amy, political.
I know.
Oh, you just went like Michael Scott on Toby. Why are you the way you are?
Why are you the way you are, you piece
Why
of garbage?
are you?
Be careful, or Kelly's going to shut his booty down on 4th of July weekend.
All I want to say is, Donald Trump, please go fucking kill yourself.
Everything
anyway,
you are and choose to be. I hate.
Anyway, I'm not gonna spoil this exactly, because I do recommend it. It was a lot of fun. And it was between this and what was the other thing I was going to maybe watch, and I still will. I don't remember. Some other thing that sounded like much more serious. But
Was this a serious movie though? Or was it a fun horror movie?
it takes itself seriously, but it's made up of like it's basically kind of like a mashup of other movies, but it's a lot of fun. And it is really cool, intense, and the monsters are really cool. The effects are really cool. So I looked at it and I was just like, this sounds like, I thought it was just going to be zombies in Jerusalem. I just thought that's what it was going to be, but it wasn't. So these two American Jewish girls are going to go to Tel Aviv together for, I guess, a vacation maybe. The one girl's brother, you find out, died just a year ago.
Oh my.
It's the anniversary. Her brother was Large Marge. Yeah. So they're going to go, and the one girl's dad gets her Google glasses with her prescription. So, like, at the beginning, there's kind of the foreshadowing where she's using her Google Glass to play a VR zombie game. But so this is what I was telling you guys. This is how I feel like it does a good job answering the whole why would they just keep filming when they're running from monsters? Like, she has to keep them on because she loses her regular glasses. Like, they break. So now all she has is these Google glasses.
Do they still make those?
I don't know.
Oh yeah,
They do?
Mm-hmm. But so her and her friend get on the plane and they meet this young hot anthropologist guy, and he seems kind of douchey, but he's actually a pretty nice dude when you watch the rest of the movie.
I thought you were gonna say when you get to know him.
Yeah, when you get to know him. And they talk the whole flight there. When they get there, he's like, they're supposed to go to Tel Aviv, and he says, well, why don't you come to Jerusalem with me and I'll show you, like, I'll take you on a tour and show you all the historic sites and everything. And so they're like, oh, that sounds cool. And so they go to Jerusalem instead. And unbeknownst to them, and then they meet, like, there's like a young guy named Omar, and he is Arab maybe or Saudi. What's cool about this movie is it brings together, like, you get like kind of the unease of the different religious groups that all occupy Jerusalem. So you've got the Jews and the Arabs, the Muslims, I guess,
Palestinians,
and then Christians. I don't know if they answer that. There were basically four groups they're talking about, and like it's uneasy, but everybody's actually like getting along. But that kind of tension is always hanging over it at first, because like they go, like there's an early scene before everything like pops off where they're kind of partying in Jerusalem, and you see all these different kind of groups of people, and you're like, oh, is there gonna be some kind of like fight or something between them? Because again, like well, anyway, it doesn't matter, but that doesn't happen exactly, but it's always like a kind of an overhanging threat. It adds to the tension. It's really cool. And then it kind of, then when the apocalypse part pops off, and there is like in the beginning they show you like a bit of footage from the Vatican archives about the last time that this weird resurrection thing happened. I mean, I will spoil the fact that there are like things that come back from the dead. But it's not exactly how you think. It's really, really interesting. It's like they kind of took a zombie, the zombie trope and plussed it. And because, a lot of people are tired of zombies. I don't know that I'll ever get tired of zombies, but like
I won't.
A lot of people are. And so they kind of do they take it in a slightly newer direction. Feels very Cloverfieldy, very VHS-y. Like it takes kind of like all the good stuff from those things, and wraps them up in this, kind of actiony. It's not breaking any new ground. Don't go into this thinking like, oh, this blew my mind. But it was like really fun, tense movie with like really cool monsters.
So
and
how are the effects?
The effects are great.
I know for like, especially for like found footagey type things, the effects aren't as good because it's supposed to be like real life.
Well, and this is why I compare a little bit to VHS, because that was what I thought upped their game, was that it was found footage, but they also used really good effects. And that's kind of how this movie is. Like when you get glimpses of things, they also like a lot of times they'll keep it like kind of in the background or in like shadows, but in a way so like it seems like you're seeing it really clearly, but like there's not so much detail that you can kind of see the strings or the zipper, as so to speak. It's really cool. I think that they just made a really I think they just were really smart about it, and like I said, they borrowed from those other movies, but in a way that just made this really entertaining. Now I will say, like, the three leads, the two girls and the anthropologist, the acting is a little like it's not horrible, and I don't feel like it really fucks up the story. But there's a point where, like, the girl with the Google glasses, and I'm sure someone would say
Google glasses.
the girl with the Google glasses,
the girl with the Google glasses goes by.
It's part 4 of the Millennium Trilogy. The girl with the Google glasses.
Yeah.
She like, there's a part, like, from a certain point in the movie to the end, she's just basically crying the whole time, and it does get a little, like,
Blair Witchy.
Somebody shut this chick up.
Is she like?
No, it's not too wet. It's just like, and she makes a lot of really dumb decisions that basically gets everybody kind of fucked. And again, you know, the thing too is, though, what I like about it is it kind of, I feel like, is playing on, like, how the rest of the world sees Americans, because the two American girls feel like they're very not entitled in a way like, oh, I should get pampered, or like, not that kind of entitled, but like where they seem to feel like they're in charge. And I'll give you an example. There's a point where the again, not to spoil, but the anthropologist guy gets stuck in a loony bin for a minute, and when everything starts to go to hell, they've got these soldiers. They're evacuating the city. They're trying to get them out. Shit is going insane. And they're leaving, and they pass the loony bin, and the girl, who's kind of like, they had sex a little bit, and I think
just the tip,
she likes him, and she's like, we have to get him out of here. No, you do not. Sorry, but we got to get the fuck out. We don't have time. They're closing the gates. And she's like, you have to, like, she's like basically trying to get these, like, she's not going to leave. And so these soldiers reluctantly go in to help her. It fucks everything up. And, like, that kind of keeps happening, where these two girls just are like, well, I'm not gonna let you leave them, or I'm
Check your privilege, bitch.
I'm just gonna stand here and stomp my foot, because, but it's interesting because it's for good reasons, like, it's right. To help someone, but in a situation where you kind of can't help someone, and you're just gonna end up fucking the whole group. For a cause that's probably already lost anyway. Yeah. So there are interesting moments of showing kind of American, like, Americans abroad, like, thinking that they're still kind of in charge, or that, what they want is more important, and that their values are more important, than everybody else's. So there were even little, like, twists, like little details like that I thought kind of elevated it too, from just like it really is ultimately just a monster movie, but, like, there are little moments that elevate it. And then the supporting characters, the actors, are actually all really good. Like Omar, he owns the hotel, and he kind of hangs out with them. He's a young dude, a young Arab dude, and he hangs out with them, and they become friends with him. He was really good. The guy, maybe it was his dad, I don't know, because he got real upset later on for some reason that I won't say. But
I think we can figure it out.
Yeah. There's another guy with them that's helping them get through, like, King Solomon's tunnels. Like, that guy was really good. There's, like, a crazy guy. So a lot of other good supporting actors. It was just a really good movie. I really recommend it. This is like a kind of a fun Saturday night movie.
I think those are my favorite type of zombie movies. The outbreak.
Yeah.
And the panic that ensues, as opposed to the aftermath.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. That's what all of this is. And it's not like this constant barrage. It's not like thousands of zombies, or like you get the idea that that's going to happen, but, like, it's not. It's like the very beginning of this, like, biblical thing, and there's more than just zombies too, which is awesome. So you kind of, like, if you don't know anything about, like, the Bible or the Talmud or the Torah or whatever, you might be a little confused by some of them. But if you do know it, you're like, oh shit, they did that. What? It was really cool. It was a really cool movie. I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. I expected to maybe like it, but, like, I was like, this is probably going to be just, like, kind of trashy. And it wasn't. It was real good.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm just so happy to end the year with a good roulette movie.
Oh, a good roulette movie. Like we haven't got to the feature yet.
Oh dear. Well, like I said earlier, whoever gets shot today is going to watch Raw. Which, to remind everybody, forced to eat raw meat during a hazing ritual at a veterinary school, a young vegetarian develops an overpowering hunger for flesh in all its forms.
My son Colin really liked this. He would recommend.
I've heard it's good.
I'm gonna watch WWE Raw instead.
All right, Mikey B, take this bullet.
Okay.
I mean, this
What?
gun.
What are you doing?
You might take a bullet.
I might.
Take this bullet.
I thee wed.
You did. You lived.
Yes, 1,000 times yes.
Freddie, you lived as well. Andy
I
died.
already done watched this movie, so.
Oh, you did?
Oh, bitch.
I did my homework.
Andy just preemptively watches all the straight-to-video
You ain't-
movies.
I'm
You
very
ain't
gullible.
shit.
If it says trending now, I'm like, ooh, why not?
Oh, speaking of trending now, by the way, I just want to recommend some things to a few listeners. There's a Bigfoot show on Netflix right now called Discovering Bigfoot.
Oh, really?
And I haven't watched it yet, but it
But he recommends it.
That's great. Just watch.
because it's co-hosted by Dr. Jeff Meldrum, who is a real legitimate scientist. He is like the
Is he like a doctor like Dr. Dre?
no, he's like a doctor like Dr. Demento.
Okay.
Speaking of Bigfoot, there's a guest coming to Whorehound Weekend that I think you're going to be very
Is it
excited
Lyle Blackburn?
about.
It's Bigfoot.
I got to double check and make sure it's that I'm allowed to say something before I say anything else.
All right. Well, say it to me after we're off the air. But anyway, Dr. Jeff Meldrum, who's a real legitimate biologist, who kind of he is like the one voice in the science community who's like, yeah, Bigfoot might be real. Like he doesn't even say it is, but he's interested, whereas a lot of other like scientists are afraid to say anything. So I think that it is cool.
So what if you watch it and you don't like it?
I will like it.
Oh,
Why
okay.
wouldn't I like it? The
I
only
don't
way I
know.
wouldn't like it is if they were like, people who like Bigfoot is stupid.
Yeah, that sounds like a horrible show. That's the whole
Yeah.
thing.
There's also and another recommend. Speaking of Bigfoot, if you don't have the streaming app Discovery America Go, but you like paranormal stuff, I would suggest maybe looking into it because they have a shit ton of like ghost shows, Bigfoot shows, all kinds of shows.
I have ID Discovery Go, and it's all about murder.
Yeah, we've been watching a lot
and
of.
some more murder.
We also been watching a lot of Weibo Flies, Web of Lies.
Oh.
On,
Well, have you watched Village of the Damned yet? That shit is good. That's on ID Discovery.
yeah, we saw that.
It's good.
We might watch that, but Web of Lies.
Weibo Lies.
That's like the deadly.
Flies.
That's deadly catfish, is what
Ooh,
I
have
like
you watched
to call
Shot
it.
in the Dark yet?
No.
It's on Netflix. It's about stringers, like Nightcrawler.
What's the stringer?
Like the guys that go film
Yeah.
Oh,
car
okay.
accidents and
Mhm.
fires and shit and sell it to the news.
Speaking of Nightcrawler,
So these are real life people that do
Yeah,
it?
this is a
Okay.
documentary series.
Oh, that's cool.
speaking of Nightcrawler, also and Bigfoot, I can tie this all back together. Google the Fresno Nightcrawlers. It is a weird cryptid that there's supposed trail cam video of, and it is creepy AF.
AF?
A to the motherfucking F.
All right, well, we've given you lots to chew on, listener.
Are Nightcrawlers creepy? I mean, are they sleazy? I mean,
Oh, yeah, it's totally
Okay.
sleazy.
Ugh, I hate that movie too.
Well, I've never seen the movie, but
No, I
Oh,
hate
it's a
it.
good movie.
I hate
Yeah.
it because it's so sleazy.
Yeah,
and
it
it
was
made me,
pretty sleazy.
it
It's
made me
re-
feel a certain way.
Yeah.
He looks real sleazy. They're like, how can we make Jake Gyllenhaal greasier?
Have you not seen it yet, Nightcrawler?
No, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You have seen it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
okay.
saying they made Jake Gyllenhaal so greasy.
Oh, yeah. He's gross.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a great
We'll
movie.
be right back.
This week's main attraction, selected by patrons, Bill Chandler.
Sorry, Donnie.
Donnie,
You done messed up.
we'll make it up to you somehow.
I'm not. Hey, Donnie, you had your chance.
We still
What
love.
do I gotta make up?
He
We
probably got busy.
We still love you and your money.
He's getting busy.
So, The Blackcoat's Daughter, originally titled February. This was the first film by Oz Perkins, released after
I Am the
I
Pretty-
Am
Pretty
the
thing that
Pretty
lives in the
Thing.
house.
That movie I fucking hated.
This movie I saw at Whorehound Weekend when it was part of the festival, but I don't think we ever released that episode. I think that's the one we didn't release.
The
Go
Lost
fuck yourself.
episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
From IMDb,
Who turned down the lights?
two girls must battle a mysterious evil force when they get left behind at their boarding school.
Oh, that is a very misleading synopsis.
Yeah, it's a bad synopsis. We're going to disagree about this movie.
Yes.
Just going into it, so we're also going to spoil the shit out of it because to have a good conversation about this movie, you have to spoil everything.
Kelly's going to be like, well, it's spoiled already.
I'm not. Okay,
hold on.
Let's take the temp. Who liked it? Who hated it?
I hated it.
I was not thrilled to death. Obviously, I didn't hate it.
All right.
Freddie loved it.
I loved it. When I saw this
Mikey?
at Horror Hound, I left and bought it immediately.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I'm thumbs ambivalent.
Me too.
Got
What
it.
about you, Andy?
Probably the same ambivalent thumbs.
Yeah.
The first time I saw it, it was at Horror Hound and very compact seating, and it's a slow
Seating's
burn.
important.
Yeah.
This is what I'm telling
It
you.
is.
It's true.
And I did not like it the first time I saw
Well,
it.
I will say, I don't like watching movies at Horror Hound. I very rarely do it
No,
because
I don't
the
like-
seats
It's
hurt
not
my
comfortable.
ass.
It's not comfy.
Yeah.
Especially for a slow burn like this, it
Yeah.
makes it even worse.
It's
But
true.
seeing it in a more comfortable situation in my bed, I can absorb it more and get the moody atmosphere.
What
So
were
I
you
think I
gonna
liked
say,
it
Mike?
a lot better the second time.
I
So-
flip flopped from that because, and at Horror Hound with Whiskey and Friends, I kind of liked it. Was like a cozy, but rewatching it this time, I'm like, it's got a little. The atmosphere was a little sleepy.
Quit
Which
staring.
So here's
Staring White Girls, the movie.
I can get all of mine out
Yeah, do
real
it, girl.
quickly.
Yeah.
Because I think what bothers me a lot is that I think that there is actually a good story there.
Mhm.
But I felt like I don't like this. Like, I know some people like this. I don't like having to write the story
You had to
myself.
do all the work. I hate that.
And
shit.
then I'm like, I think this is what happened. And then I Wikipedia'd it, and I was like, oh, I was right. I don't like that. And that's because I felt like that story was an interesting idea. The story of, and I'll just sort of spoil out right now, of a girl who wants to be possessed and then ultimately loses the demon that possesses her and wants it back and doesn't get it back.
I didn't even think about that part. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if she wanted it the first time, but she definitely didn't want to lose it.
I think maybe she did. I don't. That part is also hazy, but I like that idea. But again, and I said this to you, I said this on Facebook, when everyone is directed to act spooky and weird, no one is spooky and weird to me. Like when no one can answer anyone's questions, when no one responds, and
I hate that.
when there's just these long pauses in
Sometimes
speech.
they do that shit on The Walking Dead. And that's why I quit.
And it's just, it's like, I would like someone who behaves in a way that I can relate to on some level,
Right.
to kind of make everything else seem scary. But when everyone is behaving like they're all possessed, or they're all murderers, or all having sex with priests and old men, or whatever it is that at the beginning you're supposed to wonder about, it gets lost for me. Everyone gets lost when they're all behaving
It's
like
like
this.
the Incredibles, what Syndrome said. He
Yeah.
said, if everybody's special, then nobody is.
Exactly.
See, I didn't get that from this, and if you guys don't mind, I'll can I do a synopsis of this?
Yeah.
You
Because I do love the movie. Okay, this is going to be the chronological synopsis. Had they told it in this style, I think Kelly would have enjoyed it more.
It didn't. The trippy time flip didn't bother me. Again, it was just more the way things were telegraphed and the way things were held
Well,
back.
I think those things wouldn't have read that way had it been told in chronological order.
Yeah.
Because in the opening of this movie, there are two girls. One of them sabotages her parents arriving to pick her up for their February break because she suspects she's pregnant.
Right.
The other one, her parents just don't show up. Now they're stuck there with the nuns at this boarding school, basically out in the middle of wherever the world that's supposed to be New York or whatever.
Upstate New York.
And they are there, and the younger of the two girls, it's Rose and
Cat.
Cat's the younger.
Cat is
Cat the younger.
She's the daughter from Mad Men.
Yep.
Yep.
Cat
Sally Draper.
intuits that her parents have died, and she gets this call on a payphone, and the payphone kind of works as some sort of conduit to possess her. She hears her dead parents talking to her on the phone, And then she ends up becoming possessed.
Well, wait, are her parents dead?
Yeah, they died in an accident.
Yeah.
And that's why the headmaster was coming back.
Oh.
So while they're with them, and she starts also exhibiting some psychic stuff clearly from this, because she says, have you heard from the headmaster to the nuns? And they're like, why in the world would he call us?
Yeah.
It's because her parents have died in a car accident and he's coming to tell her.
Right.
But they don't know that yet. So clearly there's something going on with her that's supernatural.
Yeah.
When the headmaster, in between the time when her parents die and the headmaster arrives, she murders the two sisters and Rose, the girl who sabotaged her parents coming.
Cuts off all their heads.
Cuts their heads off and throws them in the furnace in the school where she
to appease the demon?
Yes.
Yeah, for the demon, to make the demon happy. Then the police show up, they shoot her, and she goes into an insane asylum.
Mhm.
10 years later, she escapes.
And she gets a new face.
and now she's
morphs
played.
into Emma Roberts.
She's played by Emma Roberts.
But the way you know it's her still is because they got the same blonde, greasy hair.
And they
Yeah.
got the
And the scar.
the bullet wound.
Yeah.
Well, the scar later.
But you
see,
don't know that yet.
Yeah, but
I
Right.
kind of thought because of the hair.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
that what took me out of it a little bit, like the fact that they were maybe she was just remembering it a different way and like telling her story and like she's a different character. But the fact that they're the same person played by two different actresses, that
it can be confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think just part of it is having the actress who played young Kat Kiernan Shipka. She just looks way too young to play a 10-year-old older version of herself. It just wouldn't have worked. Now they could have probably flipped it and had Emma Roberts play the younger one, but then the twist doesn't play as shocking because they break the narrative at this point. And I'll get back into that after this. Then the second act, had we reconstructed the story chronologically, is 10 years later she's escaped. She is on the run. She's trying to get back because, like Kelley said, she wants the demon back because this demon had been exorcised out of her by a priest before she went into the asylum.
That was a weak ass exorcism
It
too.
really was.
It wasn't a dramatic
Get out
one.
of this, girl. There you go.
Kind of like that though.
Yeah, because it's played
'Cause
out.
normally it's like they're always like bending backwards and climbing walls. And,
They did have that moment.
Yeah.
They did have that.
but like the exorcism moment where like I think it was just
Yeah.
you know
I
she's
didn't mind
gone.
that part. I just was like, priest. There really wasn't anything to the exorcism.
Yeah.
It was lackadaisical.
It was understated.
Yeah.
So Act 2 in the chronological version is James Remar and Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Lauren Holly.
Lauren Holly, thank you.
The butt from Dumb and Dumber.
They're driving to put flowers on their daughter's at her daughter's grave. She's buried in the town just east of the boarding school.
It's Father's Day.
Every
Every
my
year
cake.
she comes.
I just got that.
They stop and they run into Emma Roberts' character. And apparently James Remar, every time he finds a young girl in trouble, he sees his daughter in that person and tries to help them out.
This whole sequence to me like felt so unbelievable and just weird. Like it just didn't work for me. But anyway, go ahead.
No, that's okay. It's freezing out. He sees this young girl waiting on a bus. He's like, I'm going to help her out. And the mom is very much still bitter after
I'm going to
everything they've been through.
stupidly offer a teenage girl a ride with me and my wife.
Yeah.
You don't do that.
No?
Unless you want to fuck them, you don't do
Well,
that.
that's the thing. It's James Remar. So my immediate reaction is he's going to try to fuck her. 'Cause
Yeah,
James
Amy-
Remar
yeah.
always plays a creep.
Right.
I don't know. He wasn't creepy in The Warriors.
Whatever.
Or on Dexter.
So anyway, it turns out this is Rose's parent.
Yeah, and she finds this out because she has dinner with he's trying to surrogate his daughter through her kind of, because he takes her to the restaurant where they
Right.
would always stop. And he shows her a picture of Rose. And
At this point, you don't know that it's 9 years later yet.
Right.
Right.
This is in where the director has chopped it up and put it in non-linear. He reveals 10 years ago, my daughter died, and this is her. This is
I
her
really want to
picture.
correct you and say it was 9 years.
Or 9 years,
But
whatever.
like, who cares, right, Amy?
Right, who cares?
But I really wanted to do that.
maybe the 9 years is important symbolically.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, because in year 10 your face changes.
That's right.
You're fine.
It's been 9 years. Holiday.
So she excuses herself to the bathroom and she starts cracking up because what are the odds that the parents of the girl she had murdered happened to be picking her up and driving her just past this place again?
You don't know that's why she's cracking up till the very end.
Well, you can piece it together
No.
Especially
I didn't.
You don't know till the cop comes and you realize it's the same
when she has the
flashback.
flashback. It's all that same scene though. When the cop turns up, she has the flashback, and then she grabs the knife. Isn't that right?
No, because it doesn't matter. Please continue.
Anyways, she starts having flashbacks to the night that she killed Rose and the nuns, and she sees the cop talking to James Remar, so she's hiding out because she's on the run. She gets a knife from like a busser's bin or whatever at the restaurant, and secrets it away. And then once the cops have left, she gets back in the car with them, and they begin their journey east. And Bramford, which was the name of the apartment complex in Rosemary's Baby.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's also like the name of the town where the boarding school in this is, which I thought was kind of cool. She acts like she's getting sick as they approach the town, and the mom's like, "Don't stop here, please don't, because this is where this horrible thing happened." And she convinces them to stop, and then she kills both of them, and she cuts their heads off. She takes them back to the school, and she throws them
to do her little ritual.
To do the ritual in the hopes of bringing this demon back that she misses because she's an orphan, and who wouldn't want a demon foster dad? And it doesn't work.
Nope.
And she is really upset about that, and the film ends.
Mm-hmm.
But had they told it in that linear style, as interesting as that story is, I think it's more interesting to break the narrative into a non-linear and make you work for it a little more.
I always like a twist ending, but they do make you work too hard to understand what the fuck is going on.
And here's the thing. I agree. Like, again, if that's how the story had been told, it would have been a good story. But it wasn't. My problems weren't just with the break in the story. I mean, again, I do think it was I thought it was clunky the way he did it. I don't mind a twist like that, but again, with everyone acting so fucking bizarre, it just felt so pretentious, and it felt like everything was done for the sake of doing it.
I think I agree with Kelley, because like just the conversations they were having is like, just answer a question, just say yes or no or something like that. Nobody talks like that in real life.
But
I know that it's not supposed to be real life,
right?
But at the same time, like, just give me an answer.
I'm not going to try to convince you that, like, that's wrong or right. But like, don't you feel like on a second viewing, because you've seen it twice now, there's certain things that didn't read genuine on my first viewing, like the way the nuns were acting.
Right.
They were like, why are they acting so strange in this scene? But on the second viewing, you realize that they know her parents are dead, and they're trying not to tell her, and that's why they're so aloof. Because they want to wait for the headmaster to get there to tell her. And that's why they're acting strange. Everyone has a reason for acting strange, but you don't know it until you've watched the movie a second time.
No,
well, and I hear you, and that might be true. But that's, to me, I don't feel like I should have to watch a movie twice to get it.
See, I don't think you can have a discussion about this movie without talking about David Lynch. Like,
this is very David Lynchy. Well, he wants to be like David Lynch. Let's high five about it.
Yeah,
because I said this is like he's trying to do Lost Highway.
Yeah. Well, so that's where I think on the second viewing, this movie lost a little bit of credibility with me, because where Lynch will create these scenes that bring you in because you're like, what the hell? Like, literally, what is going on in the scene? It's beautiful, and I want to get into it. This one was almost presenting these scenes, and you're just like, I don't know that I care, other than I'm trying to solve this puzzle. I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
But the way I see David Lynch is like, he gives you a lot of stuff without answering questions.
Right.
Whereas this movie didn't give you much, but didn't answer questions either.
I feel like this movie answered every question it presented.
Okay, it did.
I do. I
and where
agree with
Lynch
that.
doesn't do that.
Yeah,
Lynch will do things just for the art of doing them.
Which is why I think I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of David Lynch lovers listening and in the room, but I don't like David Lynch, and I don't like his weird for being weird. This movie was a lot less of that, so I'm fine, and I enjoyed it sort of. But the Kelley's thing, like, Andy's saying the same thing. Nobody's really talking to anybody. Like, just fucking quit staring. Quit staring at shit.
It felt like, because he didn't want you to know what anyone's motivation was. I felt like, again, maybe until you watched it a second time.
Right.
He didn't, it was like he wanted you to think everybody had some secret, or everybody was the fucked up one. But like, that's, I can't get down with that.
I can kind of understand it, because all the people in the movie, they're broken people, so they're not going to be normal.
They're not going to be normal.
And
but
in broken people talking to broken people, this is going to be kind of awkward, I think.
To me, where I think he did a great job, but I didn't like what he did with it was it almost is like ghosting the movie. Like, here's this thing I don't want to say to you, and it's going to create it's going to create the trauma in you because I'm not saying. And he does that all through through this film. Is what am I not saying? And that I think is very effective. I just don't necessarily like exactly what it does for me.
It didn't work. Yes, it wasn't what I wanted.
Like the beginning of the film, one of the scariest parts to me, because it affected me, was the principal, the guy's telling you, she's like, "Well, I want you to see my performance."
Right? You think he's fucking her?
Well, to me, you just think he doesn't want to be there because he's like being very, very cat and mouse about like.
Yeah, right.
She's like, "Well, where are you going?" Well, it wouldn't take that long to get back, and I could see myself in that same situation where, I don't want to be here because I don't want to be here and I don't want to tell you.
Right. At what point did she become creepy and weird?
Right.
Like 'cause the performance part that wasn't like long before the possession, right?
Yeah.
So like, was she always like that, or did the possession make her creepy? So like, I was kind of confused.
I think
on that too.
she was a lonely kid to begin with. Well, that's what made her vulnerable to the possession.
Right.
That's how I read that.
Yeah, me too.
And that is why she wants the demon back, because it was exciting to her, I think.
And I felt like they were back to what I just said about is he gonna fuck her, and this kind of goes with I feel like a little bit of what you're saying where it's like misdirected motivations. I felt like that kept being a theme where he's like, all these old men are trying to fuck all these 15-year-old girls. And like the whole scene with James Remar and fucking Emma Roberts, he comes in her room. Yeah. Like, and I get, like, I knew he wasn't going to try and fuck her because this movie isn't obvious and like is not going to do anything obvious. So like, I knew it wasn't, but it just was like, how many times are you going to because that's how I felt about that scene. I felt like those two had some kind of relationship and that's why she wanted him to come back and see her performance. In the moment, I was like, how many times are you going to play out this old dude just want to fuck teenage girls? Like,
well, in a way, it's kind of a metaphor, not to take it to like that hoity-toity, like pretentious.
Oh God, here
thing.
it goes.
But
with a movie like this, you have to.
She wants a father figure, and she can't really get it
because she's had enough of hers.
She can't get the father figure. The father figure she wants is what she ends up getting with the possession and the demon thing.
Right. Which again, you
and these
have
guys
to watch a second time.
And there's three. It's the rule of threes, right? It's the headmaster, the James Remar character, and then the third one
is the
demon, right? So she's been rejected by her parents. In a way, it's kind of a rejection. Her parents dying. And
I
not
need
showing
stupider
up to pick her up.
movies. Okay.
Listen,
this is what I'm trying to say.
I just think it's real. If you look at it as simply as possible. Like the simplest explanation for everything in this movie, it's really a very eerie, interesting story.
No, because people were staring too much.
I just couldn't enjoy it because, again, I don't want to have to watch a movie twice.
Right. But I enjoyed watching it the second. Like you didn't enjoy it at all the first time through. Like maybe you're not enticed enough to come back to it.
Right.
How comfortable were you?
When I saw it,
I was very
bought it because I was like, I want to watch this movie over and over again because there's so much detail just laid into it, like layered into it to where you can just kind of soak little details up, like the flowers in the backseat of the car, the bumper sticker.
Yeah, no,
those little things made it felt good to kind of go back and revisit it.
Well, that's part of what frustrated me was because at the end I did think I was like, oh, there was a decent story to this, but they kept me pushed me away every time and made me fight for it, and I had to try and guess what the fuck was happening, and I don't want that.
I felt that way about his other movie.
Yeah.
I didn't like it at all.
And I see in somewhat in the same way where like not all David Lynch movies work for me.
Yeah, agreed. I'm the same way. It's
this
hit
one,
or miss.
I think that the director is doing a lot of storytelling through making you feel like through feelings. But the feeling kept being a feeling I didn't want to necessarily feel repeated and over and over again of what's not being said, what's not being said, what's not being said. And I think in this one, it's just like, okay, because I'd seen the movie before, I'm trying to solve this puzzle in the background of those feelings where maybe the first time I watched it, I was just okay with sitting with the dark. There's a lot of darkness in this film and kind of almost like a feeling of depression and like you were saying with the loneliness and the missing pieces. It's just that one note I think throughout the whole film got to be a little bit heavy and maybe and that made me kind of start to disengage from it the second viewing.
Agreed. It was all the same tone with every character was played basically almost the same. And to what you were just saying, like, where you said this movie is full of darkness, it is. What is interesting though is I feel like a lot of the things that I thought were happening weren't. I felt like it's a lot less dark than I actually thought it was. Like, even like with Rose's pregnancy, it turns out she's not even really pregnant. Like, none of these guys are trying to fuck any of these girls. Like, nobody's pregnant. Yeah. Like, it actually, like, it turns out that like a lot of the stuff that's happening like is not that bad. The only one that's having anything weird happen is fucking what's her fuck.
Yeah.
So Sally Draper.
Yeah. But it's this it's like what you say. He's constantly making you think that there's this huge, heavy, everyone has a secret.
But that's what I kind of liked about the movie, the heaviness.
Yeah.
I think for me, a movie is effective when it makes me feel something, whether it's good or bad. Mm-hmm. And this made me feel very like sad and depressed. It had like this undercurrent of just misery.
It reminded me a lot of the original Exorcist.
Yeah, and it made me feel something. And that's what, for me, is an effective movie.
Yeah. It only made me feel frustrated. Yeah. I would have loved to have felt that. But I was just too frustrated trying to figure out why everyone was acting the way they were. Yeah.
So this guy, I am the pretty thing that lives in the house.
Right.
And this one, I mean, I think no one can dispute that he's a very good director, that he makes something pretty. I'm just not happy with the stories you've given me. So I want to see him let's do fucking Avengers. Do an Avengers movie.
Well, here's the thing. I like the story. That's what really bothers me, is that I really did like the idea of the story. Yeah. But I was so frustrated and put off.
I want him to direct a straightforward, do a fucking.
But that's what makes the movie
Girls Trip 2
for someone like me who really enjoyed it. Had he stuck to the basics of his story and not muddied the waters with all of this atmosphere that you feel is just filler, like to someone like me, that would have just been like, oh, it's another exorcism movie. I would have checked out in the first act.
Well, and I agree. This is a tough one for me because, like, again, I can see how this could have been twisty and mysterious and had, the time loop and whatever. More for me, it was his direction of his actors. There was something off-putting that kept me from wanting to know really what was going on. I mean, I wanted to know, but at a certain point I was like, you know what? Fuck all these people.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Fuck you for doing this. Like,
well, there's the only person that you can hook into, and part of it is doing the non-linear storytelling kind of screws him in that respect, is Rose, because she's kind of your protagonist, but you can't hook into her the way you do with a normal protagonist because so much is going on around her.
And she's also behaving exactly the same. Actually, that was what I was Facebooking a little bit while I was doing this, and I said, who is this movie about? Yeah. Who is the fucking protagonist in this movie? At the time, I thought it was 3 different people. I'm like, which one of these am I supposed to be paying attention to?
Well, I think it's everybody's story.
It's 3 stories.
Yeah, it's like you don't need like one main character. You had like all these people affected by this one thing.
But I saw I didn't have anybody to hang on to.
But I'm a dummy, and I need to be have somebody relatable.
I'm a dumb as you, Amy. Sometimes
you wish.
You
don't know how dumb I am.
I love movies that are things that are spoon fed to me, but sometimes I want something where I need to like figure things out.
I'm not a dummy, and I don't like I thought about this because I thought about you with this. I feel like I felt about this the way you felt about Barbarian Sound Studio, which I liked.
I wanted to kill myself.
I like Barbarian Sound Studio. I didn't love it, but I liked it a lot. And I'm not a dummy, but like I
said it twice.
I do.
You protest too much.
Protest too much.
I just felt like it's not even that I need somebody that's completely relatable to me, but it just felt like all the characters were so homogenous and it was all just the same feeling from every single person that there was no like antithesis to any, like there was no like counterpoint. Everybody just kind of acted like I don't want to talk to anybody. I have all these secrets inside. And I'm not saying that's not, because everybody did have a secret.
It's February in upstate New York. It's cold as hell.
Yeah.
What are you going to feel like doing?
And the thing is, everybody did have a secret. The nuns had the secret
They're
that
all
her
cold.
parents were
Killing.
dead. The girl had the secret that she was killing and demon possessed. Rose thought she was pregnant. You know, everybody did have secrets, but it was just like too
Were the
much the
nuns-
same. Nobody reacted to their situation any differently.
Did the nuns have two secrets? One being they ain't got no hair.
Right, they're bald.
I don't know if that was ever true.
I don't either, because I think her eyebrows look normal.
She was just screwing
She
with
was
her.
fucking with her.
Yeah, I
That-
know. It just made me laugh. That's all. Hail Satan.
It sounded like she.
Magustalations. Wouldn't it have been funny if that's
what
what she said?
I said when she said hail, I said and hail yourself.
Hail yourself.
The last podcast for you.
But so it was a frustrating movie for me. I'm not even saying it's a bad movie. I mean, I said it last night, but like, I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I didn't like it, and I think it could have been done better and still been pretentious and
Here
interesting.
we go. This is what Kelley said last night. Blackcoat's daughter was garbage. Fuck that fake ass wannabe David Lynch nonsense.
I didn't say it was bad. I said it was worse than bad.
I think the problem I had this time is like I got in a little bit too in my pretentious head because having seen it before, I knew there was a puzzle, but like to me, I was like, oh, so maybe like this whole story is about depression, because that's the note that keeps coming back up again and fighting it. And sometimes in that film, you kind of go, you know, with the whole welcoming him back, because I know my mental health moment for just a second. Tis the season for mental health depression, right? And sometimes we say, "Come on in, old friend," like because I like eating my comfort food and I like bundling up in blankets.
Depression can feel very comforting.
Yeah, I like to disengage from everybody, and so the whole time I'm trying to really kind of pull that in, which to me, you know, maybe made this film a little bit heavier than it needed to be for me, because she is welcoming in the back. It was that the demon did nothing good for her, and then, you know, you're getting it's in that February vibe. You get the darkness, you get the depression, you get like everybody disengaging from the things that really can help them, which is one of the saddest things about depression. Is we all know there are really great steps. Like if I'm getting to depression, I need to engage my friends. I need to engage the things that I love. And this whole film really sets you up for that disengagement that allows the demon possession. So I think maybe my pretentious head got me a little disengaged from this film. Maybe it wasn't really saying
you're
that.
like, this is not healthy.
No, it was saying that though. He stated that he wanted to make a sad movie about loss, and that he could have done it without it being a horror movie even.
Oh, he has said that outside of the.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess then it was very effective because it did that for me, and for me, this, especially after the holidays, especially this is the season in the wintertime, like I really tried to get that head start run on, like not falling into that demon.
Yeah.
So I guess pretentious head. I guess it's a fantastic.
It
film.
won out. Yeah.
Because it did it.
I had those feelings the first time we watched it. I was like, oh, there's a lot going on here. And then this time I'm like, I made a point to think of it once I settled into it. I'm like, I'm just going to focus on this as a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, like, and we recently rewatched The Exorcist, and this fits so well with that to me, and with Rosemary's Baby. Like, it has the same kind of pacing.
Yeah, that's
same
why I
kind
didn't
of
like
darkness.
Rosemary's Baby.
Well, and here's the thing.
Yeah.
I like all those movies. I do like all those movies, and I
The
almost
Exorcist.
get like in Rosemary's Baby, everyone is off-putting
Yeah.
except Rosemary. Like you have someone.
I didn't like her.
Oh, I'm not saying she's like.
I'm
I'm,
just
not
kidding.
saying she's even likable, but I mean she's whatever. But like you at least understand her confusion. You know what I'm saying? You're given.
Yeah.
You get to ride on her back and be confused and scared with her.
Right. This movie doesn't have perspective in that way. I understand what you mean.
And the same with The Exorcist. It also like Rosemary's Baby felt a little bit more surreal than The Exorcist, but like, and in The Exorcist, everything except what was happening was so grounded in reality.
Yes.
Whereas I felt like this was. I mean, I felt like that was the whole point of The Exorcist. You know, unreal versus real, but like. In this, it was such a heightened reality and such an artificial reality.
Really, I didn't read into that way at all.
I didn't either.
I read into this as just bleak reality, and it's just a barren snowscape they're in. It's depressing.
It's the way they behaved that made me feel like this was not
they weren't
a real
talking
reality.
like people.
But again, like to come back to that, I think that when you are depressed,
I agree.
how many people do you know that you have been around that are depressed, and you just want to shake them and say, "Snap out of it"?
No,
and how many times did you in this movie want to shake one of the characters in the film and say, "Snap out of it"?
Again,
come on,
constantly.
It's like Moonstruck.
Yes,
that's what I.
Which,
didn't
by
like
the way,
about
is the worst thing to do to somebody who's depressed. I just want to
slap them.
Not slap. Well, just to say it's easy. Snap out of it.
And
it's not true.
When you pointed that out just now about like everyone disengaging, like again, it was another layer. I'm like, oh yeah, that does make sense. But maybe I am a dummy. I don't want to have to try that hard.
I didn't want to do what this movie wanted me to do.
I didn't either. I don't want to do your work for you. Like I want to watch the movie
Freddy.
and understand what's happening.
So you don't like the melting pot where they bring your meat and you have to cook it in the oil?
Not at all.
You're like, fuck you.
He hates buying cold cuts and bread, making his own sandwich.
That's why we've gone at Subway.
I'll just go to P&S.
I mean, I guess I think that's just something that just coming out from this discussion is that he's not going to give you a character to empathize with. He's just not.
But that was the point of the movie, right?
Yeah.
If to make it a heavy movie.
He's just not.
And he did his
He's just
job,
not.
I think.
Well, I still think
right.
you're supposed to empathize with the parents and with Rose.
But I couldn't empathize with the parents because I kept thinking James Remar was trying to fuck
Exactly,
Alex.
because it's James. You cast
Because it's
James
James
Remar.
Remar.
Not even because it's James Remar. It's a man
What do you
who
want me
like
to
is
think?
like, my car is right over there.
We
I'll
are in
come
a day
and
and
talk
age.
to you.
Whose fault? But isn't that our fault for like buying into the fact that every man is a predator?
No, well, I
'Cause
had that thought.
Yeah.
Every
I
man
did.
is a predator, Freddy. Kill all men.
I did have that thought, and I was like, I knew he wasn't doing that. Like, I did know that. I was like, this guy.
It does demand you giving that up. That preconceived notion in order to really have a fulfilling experience with this movie.
And I did, but I was like, I knew he wasn't trying to fuck her. Like, I knew he wasn't. But like,
why Real Housewives is perfect. You just lay back and let it happen to you.
But he was presenting it so that you did think it, and
right.
like,
well, I don't know for sure. Yes, he had to have that scene in her hotel room where she's wrapped in a towel.
Yeah,
and I can see why you would feel that way completely.
It was just it felt like no one was doing anything, and I know people do things that they wouldn't do, but like it just. No one was behaving in any. I just had no reality. I felt like there was no reality anywhere.
It
to
was
be
too
found.
fucking artsy.
Let me talk about instead of just bitching. Let me throw something good in. Can I throw something good in?
Throw something good in there.
I love the moment when he asks her, "Do you believe in God?" And she says no, and he says, "Well, I do, and I think that you were brought to us. It's more than a coincidence that I ran into you." And this is before she realizes who he is.
Yeah.
And I was meant to take you to this place because when she gets in and she sees the photo and she's in the bathroom, she has a moment of belief again.
Right.
Now it's not God, but they say you believe in one, you believe in the other.
Right.
And that's such a great moment where she's like, oh, that's why she starts laughing and she comes out of this sense of loss and depression because she sees that maybe she has a way in again.
Right.
And that maybe there is a plan and that's more than coincidence he picked her up and that they're heading to this place again. And I just think like for me, that elevates, and for the story to work in the way he tells it, it has to be told in this nonlinear fashion with a different actress for you to have that revelation.
Oh, I get it.
Especially, and as much as you didn't like it, I would encourage you to watch it a second time going in, knowing everything.
You don't have to do
Because
that.
I do think, whether you do it or not, but if someone listening who maybe didn't like it the first time, you could get a lot out of it the second time.
Well, I used to think that movies where you had to watch it twice to appreciate it was kind of stupid. Like you make your decision up when you see a movie. But I changed my mind after watching The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
I saw it again and I saw it in a brand new light. And I think some movies, like sometimes movies you need to see twice to really appreciate and see it in a different light because the situation of how you're seeing it is different and you need to be ready for certain movies.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm not saying I won't watch it a second time because I'm a person whose mind can be changed. Because I'm better than a lot of people.
You're no dummy.
And but I will say that watching it, I hated it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, in the moment watching that movie, I fucking hated it.
You called it garbage.
I
Right.
thought it was garbage. I was like, this is bullshit.
How about I'll watch this another time, but then I'll never see Caddyshack, so you got to pick.
Oh, you got to see Caddyshack.
Why wouldn't you
So-
want to watch Caddyshack?
No, I'm being an asshole right now.
I see what you're
because
doing.
I don't have infinite time on
Well,
Earth.
I think this movie is worth revisiting. I'm not saying revisit
I mean,
every movie you didn't like.
It's no Caddyshack, but I mean, it's...
How much did you pay for this?
I don't remember. I bought it like a year ago.
Did you ask me?
But again,
No,
like
I didn't.
actually, the interesting thing that this movie brings up is like, is having to watch a movie a second time.
Having to. The having to makes me want to stab
There
somebody.
aren't many movies I would watch twice. Even
Yeah.
movies I
All
loved.
kinds of movies twice.
No, I don't anymore. But think about it. Like the movies I revisit are movies I've always revisited since I was a kid.
I resent the having to twice. If I want to twice, cool.
Well, I mean, like even Jurassic Park, which everybody loves, and I thought it was a great movie.
I find that too
I
scary.
saw it in the theater, and I was like, okay, that was like the last time I saw a movie where I'm like, I don't need to ever see it again.
See, I think the interesting thing about watching movies again is usually more about the mood or the baggage that comes along with the film that makes you want to watch it again. I like watching. I could watch Goonies over and over again because my emotional baggage that is connected to that film is always going to take me to a right place.
I'm a big rewatcher. I mostly rewatch movies. I don't watch a lot of new movies.
Right, but the movies that you rewatch are mostly old, right?
Oh yeah.
Do you rewatch anything that was released in the last 10 years?
I'll watch like Godzilla. I've watched Godzilla several times. 2014, I've watched Kong Skull. Like monster movies, I'll watch over and over again.
The movies I rewatched, they're not challenging. They're easy to just throw on in the background.
But I know what you're saying. Yeah.
But for something like this, you need to strap yourself in and be ready for it.
No.
I
think
I'm not going to.
I think about some of the Christmas Vacation, great. That I would connect to great because it takes me to it takes me to a Christmassy kind of place.
Right.
Mulholland Drive on one of probably the films I've watched. Well, not the most, but I've watched it quite a few times. I like to connect to that type of feeling when I'm in a certain place. And this movie, I think, I'm almost now kind of after having this conversation, I want to go back and do is this a character study on depression? Because every single person in this film, including the parents, is depressed in some way or another in how they're interacting with it. I just think that you rewatch movies to take you to a place. If you're going to rewatch this film, it might be a place, not saying you need to be depressed, but it might be a place where you want to explore those more kind of meaty emotions that aren't going to feel good.
Or maybe you're like me and you come back to it looking for something a lot simpler than you thought you were getting out of it the first time. Where I thought the first time through I was getting all of those high level themes and everything, and the second time through I was like, I'm going to watch this as a horror story and really just as a cleverly told horror story, and thought of it more as something I'm reading. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like and less of something that I'm like feeling through. It was more like just looking for how cleverly he laid Easter eggs.
Right. I think a really great movie.
It's a very basic story. I mean, it's a very simple story. Like when you really get to when you get to just laying it out chronologically, actually not a lot happens. It's a very simple story.
Yeah, girl meets demon. Girl cuts heads off. Girl loses demon. Girl tries to get demon back by cutting heads off. That's the story.
Mm-hmm.
See, I like rewatching X-Files and Roseanne episodes to get those feelings back.
Still like watching Roseanne.
I do. I know.
Oh, well, I don't give a fuck, but I thought,
She's not allowed, just because she's a fuck
Well,
nut bitch face.
I'm not going to watch her new shit. I watch her old shit.
Yeah, because you can't take Dan Connor away from me.
I just want to see how you felt about it, because I know that you're affected sometimes by how people behave.
She's fucking nuts, but that show's too important to me.
You still watch Cosby?
You can't anymore.
You can't find it anywhere.
I've tried.
Yeah.
When
Probably
you
watch
get
on
the
YouTube.
Quaaludes,
What if there's a
you put
channel
'em in
out
the
there
pudding?
that all it shows is Roseanne, Cosby, Louis,
Trimmers.
Polanski movies.
yeah, a bunch of Polanski movies.
What's the
Jeepers
House of
Creepers.
Cards.
Jeepers Creepers?
Yeah.
Has anybody seen the third one yet?
No. We could steal it.
Would that be okay then?
Yeah,
To steal it?
that's when you're allowed to BitTorrent, right?
But then you're
watching
punishing
the
everybody
exam,
else who worked on it.
I
We'll call
might
the-
watch the new
Oh, you
Roseanne.
have to. Come on. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm curious.
They already paid her for it.
Can we call the channel?
Oh, was it a
Yeah.
Netflix thing?
No, it's like ABC.
It's gonna be on
isn't it?
ABC.
Yeah.
So
That's
it's
like the
not
big-
like she doesn't get anything on the back end. It's just
I
done?
don't know, Freddie. What do I look like? An entertainment lawyer?
You do.
do we
You
have
do
to
look like one.
do we have to go with macadamia nuts too? And then she like a
I
macadamia
thought it was
farmer.
almonds.
Almonds. She's a
Oh,
nut
no.
farmer.
Loose meat sandwiches.
She's a real nut
I
farmer.
had to give up loose.
I
meat
can't eat
sandwiches.
manwich anymore.
Can't.
Shit.
Sorry.
Loose meat.
That's-
Eating loose meat. That's
Loose
what
meat
trash
sink
people
ships.
do.
That's half of my
You
diet.
think George Clooney's gonna come back?
Oh,
As,
yeah.
Hooper?
Booker.
Booker?
Hoopa.
Hoopa. Hoopa.
Is it Lori Metcalf? That's her
Yeah.
sister. Yeah.
I want
I
her to
saw
make
her
money.
in Lady Bird. Holy.
Oh,
that
did you
horror
see
movie,
Lady Bird?
It's so good.
I want to see Lady Bird so
good.
bad.
I'd
Lori
watch it again
Metcalf's
for
in that?
sure.
Yeah.
You're gonna go by yourself.
What?
Because I
won't-
just
she
don't
won't
want
go.
to see shit like that. I don't know what's wrong with me, but like feel good nonsense, I don't care.
And you have to go to the Esquire to see that shit. That's a haul.
I want to see Lady
They don't
Bird.
have recliners.
Lady Bird.
Lady Bird.
I've always thought that dog deserved its own movie. Ever since the first season of King of the Hill.
Ladybird can dance.
Yeah, she can dance.
Bird.
All right. So Blackcoat's daughter,
Mm-hmm.
done. Finito.
I feel like we got through some stuff today.
Yeah.
It was interesting. It wasn't.
It
As,
wasn't
it
just
wasn't
us
as
squawking.
hardcore as our Last Jedi discussion that I feel like we could have all over again with a whole new group.
Oh, I get so worked up. It's not about the movie is a great movie,
Yeah.
but it's just the nerds.
It's not healthy for him.
I realize with Last Jedi, I've realized a few things about myself. I'm I always thought I was a pretty hardcore movie fan, and a hardcore Star Wars fan. And I've realized I'm very casual about both of those things because no movie franchise affects how I feel as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Like my emotions. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that I don't have emotions tied to it, but like, I'm not gonna like fucking write a petition to Disney. Like, I can't even wrap my mind around that. Like, you either like it or you don't. Like, I can't.
I have no ownership over any franchise or movie. It's like you do what you want. Like I can feel a certain way about it, but for me, to get up in arms about a certain thing.
So I guess I'm not as hardcore as I thought I was because I just
Sometimes surrendering is the hardest core of them all.
Be vulnerable.
Spreading your germs around.
All right. So, like we do at the end of every show. All right.
Sorry.
Like we do at the end of every show, we thank
just pour some
and
alcohol
name
over.
our Beelzebubs. Again, patreon.com/NOTLP. If you donate at the Beelzebub level, well, you're a producer of the show. We're going to say your name.
We are your Black
Executive
Coat's daughters.
producer Dick Wolf.
Dick
Yes.
Wolf. Chung, chung.
Up first, we got Jer Bear,
Aww.
Jeremy.
Cuddly and warm.
Can't wait for a Horror Hound weekend to see you.
We've got Adam.
Don't forget, you have to say Cassie too.
Oh, Jeremy and Cassie. Sorry.
Oof.
Adam. I'm a bad person.
Woman matter too, Amy.
All right, Andy. Adam. Hi.
Hey, Adam.
Brooke.
What's up, bro?
Girl.
Oh, how you doing?
Girl. How you doing?
Oh, my God.
We got Ernest.
Ernest.
I hope to see you
With Horror Hound Weekend.
in my dreams.
Oh, dear. We've got Alberto.
Hey, Alberto. You the man.
And we've got
You're not
Albert.
getting my Bud Light, Alberto.
We've got Albert.
Albert, you
my-
are getting my Bud Light.
That's my dog.
That's your dog.
That's my dog.
Speaking of Bud Light, remember all the people ordering Bud Lights on the cruise?
That was disgusting.
Yeah, how dare you?
acting like it's not something you can get anywhere.
There were a lot of people doing Bud Light lime buckets,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you need to just throw yourself off.
I can't even drink Budweiser of any kind.
I mean, I can when it's
Full
free.
flavored Budweiser's okay. It's not great.
All right. Back to it. Tree and Alex.
Hey, you guys are fun.
Did you guys get my Christmas card?
Why am I talking in that weird voice?
I don't know. Brandon Boone.
Oh, Brandon, I miss you.
Yeah, ever since
We
the
gotta-
accident.
We gotta play some more Call of Duty.
Ever since he went to Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
Oh, are we on to a
went
different
Camp
game now?
Crystal Lake. We're doing Call of Duty World War II now. We are a team.
So
now.
ever since he
don't shoot each
he
other.
shipped out,
Yeah, he says
he
when
have
I get
Star
home to
Wars?
my gal.
we're just waving at him with a hanky.
We've got Bill.
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 Can we call you Billy F?
Billy F.
Let me know.
He was just in Disney
That's
Was
right.
he? Which one?
and Universal.
Yeah, he went to Universal.
World. Yeah. I wish I was with you.
We've got Balake. What's up, Blake?
The Blackcoat's daughter.
Mark Watts.
Oh, what's up?
Oh!
Yeah, you're getting my Bud Light. Ribbit. Less filling.
Spuds McKenzie. Remember Spuds McKenzie?
I do.
Yeah.
What a beautiful dog.
Was that Coors? No. What was Spuds? Was he Budweiser?
I don't remember all of a sudden. I thought he was
Guess
Coors.
he wasn't a very good salesman.
I thought he was Bud.
Was he Bud?
I thought he was.
I don't remember.
I'll look it up. Mikey P.
Mikey P.
Oh, Mikey P.
Some lady named Elise that makes hush puppies.
Oh, at least I'm coming home to get some of them hush puppies and some of the hush puppies that you cooked.
Oh, damn.
Oh, Spuds McKenzie was Bud Light.
Bud Light.
yeah,
What are those hush puppies euphemism for?
You have to decide. I'm not going to just spoon feed it to you.
That was
You're
back
going to have
with-
to.
I had to
You're
work
going to have
for
to
it.
go back and listen to that joke a
Yeah,
second
I
time.
Do a character
Light.
study.
Beer that was truly fit for a dog.
I feel like hush puppies would be a
agreed.
good nickname for your booty butt cheeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or your
Couple of
pretty
hush-
titties.
Couple of hush puppies in a blanket.
Mm-hmm.
Amanda. Oh! Amanda. Reminder, our last high five happy hour.
Also
with
my
Amanda.
dog.
Go to patreon.com
She my dog.
/NOTLP. You can hear that. And you can also hear Andy's Late to the Party, which is finally out.
Oh, that's right. Late to the Party is out. Is it the Game of Thrones
Game
one?
of Thrones.
And
All seasons?
Just the first.
In true form, I
can't
released
watch
it
that
late
shit.
because it's late to the party.
We recorded it like in August or
And
something.
it took forever to release. It took forever for Andy to see Game of Thrones. And then it took forever to release it because
It's a theme.
that was
okay?
my fault.
No, it wasn't your fault. I forgot.
So
You
the-
told me to release it on Monday. I released it on Friday.
Oh, you mean the social media posts?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it automatically posts. I meant like we had recorded it months ago.
Oh, so it's not my fault at all.
No.
Oh,
It's not your
good.
fault.
You were just
Absolve
part
me.
of the theme.
Yeah. We have another episode in the bag, but
Yeah.
we're gonna release it late too.
Yeah, everything comes late. Johnny come late.
And finally,
yeah,
we've got Jimmy B.
Jimmy B.
Yeah.
Just a reminder, we started our Patreon this year in 2017. So, there were some good things that happened this year amidst all the garbage.
Yeah, there were.
Yeah.
So we find our good things where we can. We find our gratitude.
Yeah.
Our gratitude
where we
attitude.
can. Our gratitude attitude.
Yeah, we have a gratitude.
And I'm very thankful for
Attitude.
every single one of the people donating. You're
Yeah,
the
me too.
best. And
We
even if
have-
you're not donating, but you told a friend or you left us a review on iTunes,
Or you're
it's still
listening.
cool. Or you just
still
listening.
listen. Yeah.
Also, a lot of exciting stuff coming this year. New perks for our patrons at all levels.
We're not going to hassle you about our Instagram booty pictures.
No,
Not
we're
one.
gonna threaten to close your booty.
You can continue to see our booties.
Our
just
booties
by
will remain open.
You don't have
Yeah.
to like or pay for anything.
Yeah.
And I want to say thanks again for all our Patreon's choice pickers,
Yes, our
Yes.
pickers.
Maddie Hops,
Our pickers and grinners.
Jeremy, and Bill.
And I want to say I hated missing out on Jeremy's because I actually liked that movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was such a goofy movie.
What was it called? The Beefing?
No.
What was it called?
The Mad.
The Mad. That's right. Yeah.
It was such a weird movie, and I really wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because there would be moments where I thought I hated it, and then they'd come back and get me again.
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
the Mad, you got me."
Yep. Billy, I just rewatched
Billy
Titanic
Zane was-
because we were just on a boat and
Yeah.
I had to. And Billy Zane in Titanic is so bad, but so good.
Mhm.
Just like
Is he
that
bad
movie. He's
in that?
he's both good and bad
Okay.
because he's like Rose. Everything looks like it's looped in, just like in every movies, and whether he's recording his dialogue live or not, I don't know how he does it. But he's
So that
like,
made me want to go back and watch Demon Knight.
he's like, you could pass for a gentleman,
It's great in
Jack.
that, from what I remember.
And then he was like, "This is a big diamond."
Everything that Billy Zane says is like quiet and
Yeah.
slightly menacing.
And a little sexy, but
Yeah.
not in a good way. Kind of like
Even in that movie,
a finger snuck into your butthole
yeah,
kind of way.
in the Mad, like
dear.
that's exactly how it felt.
Yeah.
Like I was like, "You're talking
Yeah.
to everybody like you want to like violate them."
So his fingers must smell constantly, right?
Oh, Lord.
Smell
They
that.
don't even smell it anymore.
That's a secret
It's
butthole
like-
penetration.
Wow. Speaking of smelly fingers,
But it is
higher
constantly brown.
love.
Oh.
Anybody who wants to send an
Yes.
email, especially right now, this in a spirit of gratitude. This helps me just like kind of getting to think a little bit outside myself, especially this season. It's the season for me. So if there's anything that I can offer some suggestions with, please email Mikey B at notlp.com. .com.
We want Higher Love to come back.
Yeah, I wanna bring it back. So if not, I'm probably gonna hassle one of these.
I got things.
You got things?
Oh, I got so many mental health issues.
Well, let's do it.
My
Wanna talk about the
husband
brother
makes me
husbands?
dress up. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
My friend Andy has pepperoni in his wallet.
I don't even
that's
own my
so
own
great.
clothes anymore. Oh, we didn't tell about Andy's pepperoni.
See, it's already making me feel better.
There
Yeah.
are so many stories that came out of last week.
Andy likes Sbarro.
Andy bought some Sbarro, threw it in his bag, and then we went to check into the boat, and he opened up his wallet, and there was a pepperoni in it.
Because the pepperoni got loose in my bag.
Then I pointed at it. And I said, Andy, there's pepperoni in your wallet. And he went, oh. And he picked it up and put it in his mouth.
I have a similar. Can I tell you a similar
Yeah.
story? When I was a kid, my mom one time made shrimp cocktail, and it was delicious.
Yeah.
And we were going to Kingdom Hall that night,
Yeah.
and you carry little book bags. I fucking smuggled a shit ton.
Oh, they're like Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, I smuggled a shit ton of fucking cold shrimps in my leather book bag, and like a little cup of cocktail sauce. And then I would go back I would be like, I have to go to the bathroom again. And I would go in the bathroom, and like a secret little fat boy, I would just shovel a bunch of shrimp in my face and then go back out.
See, at least I knew where the pepperoni came from.
Yeah.
And you didn't eat it in the toilet, so you got that. You got that over, Kelly. Toilet shrimp.
Yep.
Well, I wasn't in the
shrimp.
toilet. I was at the sink.
Oh, but, well,
I didn't go
I'm
sit
like
on
an
the
English person. I call that whole room the toilet.
Oh,
You mean the WC?
The commode.
it's not. Yeah, it's not even the It's not even the toilet.
Yeah.
That's what you do to your hair.
I don't even like taking my water bottle into the toilet, so I can't imagine eating shrimp cocktail in one.
Well, I wouldn't do it
I just
now.
can't.
I wouldn't do it now.
Disconnect from your story.
Well, to be fair, shrimp are
My
bottom
mind.
feeders, so you're not getting anything worse out
Was
of the
the
air than you
cocktail
are from the
sauce-
shrimp to begin with.
Like free, or did it have like a lid to the container it was in?
I had a lid.
Okay,
I think I
good.
just grabbed the jar.
Was it astronaut cocktail sauce, where it's just like Dippin' Dots that tastes like cocktail sauce?
What?
As it came in a tube.
Oh,
It was
Lord.
a scratch
Okay.
and sniff sticker. I would just like I'd take a bite of shrimp and scratch the cocktail shrimp, scratch and sniff and smell it.
Horseradish.
Yeah, because half of taste is
Good
smell,
idea
so-
right there, actually.
Right?
Well, cool, great. 2017.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, everybody. Be
Happy
safe
New
tonight.
Year.
Yeah.
Watch for the year-end rear end. Watch for my birthday. And watch for Podcaster's Choice. We got to
Yes.
start thinking about our choices. Mikey B, is this going to be your first
It'll
Podcaster's
be
Choice?
Second.
Nope.
Second,
Second.
okay.
Mulholland Drive was my first choice.
That's right.
actually.
That's right.
But I might put a twist on it this year, so be
What does that
prepared.
mean?
Ooh.
Oh,
You're not going to
Yeah.
choose it.
Amy wants
No.
answers right
My
now.
idea is us having choose movies for other people. It's called anti-choice.
Oh,
you know what?
forcing
I
I'm
hate
pro-choice.
that.
Yeah, I don't like that, Andy. I don't like it.
I want to say thank you to Aviron Pictures and The Strangers for sending us this wonderful care package of Strangers Pray at Night, holiday ornaments, and a dreidel game.
Is it made out of clay?
It's made out of wood, I think,
Oh.
this dreidel.
Well, then.
But it's very cool.
We're excited about Strangers Pray at Night.
That's right.
Film debut.
Maybe if you didn't end up on the cutting room floor, we'll see.
Yeah.
Still on the film somewhere.
That's
We're on
true,
film
somewhere.
We're going to be on the DVD extras.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.
Yay!
Happy New Year.
Bye.